Sorry, guys.
Are we all ship shape?
No.
No. Okay. Well, we need for you to be ship shape.
Now we are.
Now you're okay?
Now I'm okay, confirmed.
Okay. Devon, how are you?
Hell yeah.
Nothing has changed with me. I'm nominal.
Okay, cool.
It was
Hi,
just
Khutula.
me.
How are you?
I was making fun of Sika.
I'm Khutula.
Perfect. And Isaac's here. Yay, welcome. And Carlos. Now,
I have
No,
exactly
this is
100
official
Steam
enough.
Workshop mods.
okay, so yeah, now may we all begin. So yeah, we're leaving Cairona house, going to Vinshenzo's other family, and his wife decided to tag along with 4 of the elite troop bodyguard dudes. Yeah. So, anything before we begin, or no? We just dive right into it.
Carlos is crippled, haha.
You're crippled.
Deadly. Okay. So, if you recall, the city that you're in, Nilmasera, is built within a cavern. And there's districts of the city that are inside the walls and inside the ceiling of the cavern as well. So the House Helvani, which is the other basically Vinshenzo's maiden family. I don't know how that one. And not his wife's family, but his actual parents. They live up in the ceiling. So the district of somewhere 800 fucking miles, Melthamar is the roof district, and they're towards sort of the bottom of the cavern, or the bottom of the city, on the Underdark, close to the Underdark gate, but they're on the ceiling, so they can still see the sunlight a little bit. Little picture in dialogue is similar. The top of the house can just see a little bit of the sun's rays. Their estate / little land is built in between 2 stalactites. A lot of the structures in this part of the cavern are connected by bridges and such like that. There are buildings / sort of tunnel districts that are above inside the ceiling, and you can get through them through some of the different stalactites that act as elevators and ramps to the upper districts. And as well, there are like big, effectively apartment complexes built into some of the big ass stone structures in the ceiling. So you get to the house. It's a lot smaller than Cairona's land. It really is just it looks like a small castle, much more quaint compared to the grandeur that you'd been in earlier in the day. It takes about 3 hours to get up to the next district over. When you get into House Helvani, you are greeted by Artemis Helvani, who is Vinshenzo's father.
Oh, he's just like hanging out in the foyer?
Kind of thing like that, yeah. It's like you open the front gate, and then he happens to be there, but that's one of the areas that he constantly maintains is that front gate with mail, postage, all that kind of stuff. It's one of his things that he likes to do. So he happened to be there when you guys walked in, and he's took it upon himself to greet you. It's not like you just turned a corner and there was the front gate. Like someone saw you coming, and he's there to say hi.
Hell yeah.
So Vinshenzo's dad, Artemis, is a fairly or what?
Artemis.
Sorry, I missed the letter then.
Artemis.
Artemis. Oh, I missed the I.
It's fine. I don't care that much.
I'm looking off of my notebook notes and I just didn't spell it right. That's all. Anyways, Artemis. He is dressed in midnight blue robes with a gold trim. And he introduces himself as the wizard of House Haldani. And when he sees you, Vinshenzo, he comes over and gives you a big hug and says, "Oh, my son, how are you? It's been a long time since you've come home."
Indeed, Father. It is wonderful to see you as well.
He takes 2 quick steps back and shakes himself off and says, "Please introduce me to your traveling companions."
Oh yeah, I have friends.
And then he nods towards your wife, who's there too, and she smiles and nods and all that. And then he kind of looks at your friends. "Hey, who are these guys?"
Father, this is the Nissian Vagabonds. As you know, I traveled far from here to seek fame and fortune, and these have been my traveling companions.
How much communication have you kept up with your actual family while you were traveling?
Absolutely fucking none.
Okay, cool. I kind of thought so, but I just wanted to double check.
Well, I mean, maybe, like, if I had, like, some level 3 spell slots at the end of a fucking day, maybe I'd, like, in the background, I'd be sending messages to them.
It's okay to say no.
I definitely never send a fucking letter, because you said how much it would cost, and I didn't like that.
It's expensive.
You wanted to go how far?
Okay. Well, so he greets you and he welcomes each of you in turn as you are introduced, and he asks you if you'd like to follow him in for tea or anything. If there's something he can help you with.
Yes, of course. My associate here, Mr. Carlos, would like to have tea with you. I introduce like all of everybody like individually and give names as well. Should I RP that out? I feel like that'll take forever.
It's up to you.
I'll just say I
up
did
to all
it.
of you. Okay.
Nephis says hi politely.
We already had an entire Vin session, so
aware
I'll
of that.
move this one ahead.
I'm trying to help.
This is Carlos's session.
Second Vin session and also Carlos session.
Anyway, so he says hello and he offers you guys to make yourselves at home essentially. While I have emphasized that it's not as big as the House Cairona, it's still a pretty nice place, rivaling like the king's castle in Nancon. Like it's a big place.
Okay.
It's a noble house.
I am drawing a lot of visual reference from the picture that I posted in dialogue. It really does work nicely. It's impressive, but in and of itself, it's not exactly a massive fortress or anything.
It's the roof castle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's up near the ceiling. There's a huge entire city below, but they have this nice elevated view of the sun. Or at least, like, it's kind of like the last few rays of sunlight before you enter the Underdark, and then it's cut
They
off
have
forever.
better
They
real
have that.
estate. Chironas have a better house.
Caironas have. Yeah, it's a completely different
Hell yeah.
stratosphere. Anyways, yeah,
Huh?
there you go. So you said Carlos wants to have tea with your dad.
Sure. That's what Seeker said, yeah.
That's what he said.
We have to discuss a private matter with you, Father.
So, a private matter. Okay.
Yes.
I can, if you want, we can meet in my library. We can speak there, or we can go to the Sun Dome where I moved my workshop.
Oh. Working out of the Sun Dome now.
Yes, and you are aware the Sun Dome is just basically up in the roof. It's a glass, it's exactly that. Place where he can work in the sun.
How queer.
The Dark Dome.
The Dome.
It is clear, but when you get there, you notice the Sun Dome. Even though it's called that, you can see the sunlight, but it is filtered so that it's not strong. It doesn't hurt your eyes or anything. It is actually quite comfortable.
Hell yeah.
And it kind of bathes everything in almost like an orangish, a yellowy orange glow due to the filtered material on the glass.
Hell yeah.
You notice that your sister Della II is there, also wearing the same robes that note her as a member of the wizarding, or member of the wizard's staff in House Helvani. And your father kind of dismisses her private matter, and then takes a seat in a chair nearby and says, "Okay, what's this private matter, my son? How can I help?"
We must fix Carlos. I don't say that. It is a troubling matter, Father. My dear comrade, Mr. Carlos here, his appearance, it is not his original form. He was corrupted by some garish wizard.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
His name was Lyndon B. Johnson.
I can't even remember what his real name was anymore. I just put that as a joke.
Lyndon B. Johnson changed my friend. It's horrible.
Changed him.
If
To examine Carlos, and he has not like a medical table, but essentially like one of those doctor's benches that has like just a nice surface, and he kind of pats the surface. He says, "If you don't mind, I'll take a quick look and see what I can see."
I hope it's not painful.
Carlos would agree and hop up onto the bench. He'd also offer to go through the events that led up to it and show him what documents that the Wizarding College was able to provide if he wanted them.
He'll take the stuff from the documents and such from you, and he asks that you recount it, but try to be as detailed about your environment as possible. You don't actually have to if you don't remember, but that's what
I could draw
he
a
asks of
sketch of Carlos's original figure. That would help.
Is it Drow?
He accepts your offer.
Okay.
If you could do
Yeah.
Should I roll performance?
Vin just fucking draws Carlos as a drow. This is what he looked like, father.
It's perfect.
Finally, the perfect man. Should I roll performance?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay, good luck, Carlos.
Oh no.
I hope Vin is really artistic.
you misspelled it.
21, I believe.
Okay, you are able to successfully make a sketch of.
And I'm not
whatever it is you're
trying to like
intending to sketch.
deceive. I'm like sketching it as best as I can to
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna take you like a hot minute, so you're not like gonna turn around and scribble it out in 6 seconds or anything.
Oh, absolutely. I would take my time to get Carlos's figure as accurate as possible.
Yeah, you have to really make sure that you get his. Yes. Okay. That's you get his likeness. So Artemis takes out a couple different instruments and things, and he pinches at your scales, and he generally performs a sort of an examination as you're speaking to him and recounting the details you so provided. And then after that, he takes the different pages and documents. He shuffles over to is it a lectern or a podium? Anyways, one of those. He stacks them up and just leafs through them quite briefly, pausing to examine a page or two, and then continuing on. And after a few minutes, he comes shuffling over and asks a few more questions about like the ritual and what it is that you recall. And then he sits back down after getting everything he needed and says, well, it's definitely not. It's not a simple fix. I do say I cannot change him back into his exact form. He's been changed by a master of transmutation, and unfortunately the ritual is allowed to be completed to its full power, and that's a permanent change. I know the ritual and I can perform it, but it will not be your same likeness. I can change you back into a human, if you wish. That way you can live as a more respectable being again.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second.
That's the idea.
He has to think about it? Oh.
No, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say, not Carlos. God. Bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos he appears a little disappointed that he wouldn't be able to like change him back exactly how he was, but he is hopeful for the prospect of being turned back into a human. So he is thankful, and he does basically, like, you know, is like, hey, thank you so much. Yes, I'd appreciate whatever you could do to help.
He nods and he looks at Vinshenzo and says, well, I can fetch my assistants, and we can set up a ritual chamber for the incantation. It will take a little bit of preparation, but if you're willing to wait, not more than a few hours at least, we can conduct the ritual, and as long as we're undisturbed for the length of the ritual, then we should be able to return him back to a human form.
Yes,
I wish
Father,
it's a nice sketch that you drew, but I cannot replicate his true self. That is done by more extreme measures.
Yes, Father, please. I've grown tired of this ghastly image.
You just gonna take that, Carlos?
Sorry, I'm
Oh shit!
reading
the
things.
Fucking music has been on. God damn it!
Khutula says in the doorway, eating all of Vin's father's food.
I mean, he's been taking it every. This isn't the first time.
Everyone has a breaking point.
Yeah, I bet Khutula would be here
Oh, thank you.
if she was invited. Maybe.
Well, we'll allow a sort of, as that's happening, the rest of you guys are hanging out. So there are generic castle facilities. A few other members of the House Helvani are around, including Della, who is the matriarch of House Helvani. Della the second, who I mentioned was in the sun room for a little bit, but then she fucked off. Oh yeah, the other guy's gone. Sorry, and then the eldest brother is absent at the moment. But Della the second bumps into you, Khutula, and you know from introductions as you're like being entered into the castle that she is a student of magic, as well as being on in the noble family.
Ow. You bumped into me.
Not like
Just, I know.
Ow! He's small.
you don't have to engage with her. I'm trying to.
You made me drop my croissant.
I'm giving
Stop. I almost
Just
dropped
figure
my
shit out.
croissant.
croissant.
Croissant. Okay. Cthulhu would like just give her a nod as she passes by, or like, I don't know, just like a friendly little greeting, but not really try to interact with her past that without being introduced.
You've been introduced.
Oh,
Give you a little like chibi like hoodie sleeve wave, and then, like keep on shuffling past.
God, I need to fuck her.
Oh,
Damn.
where's Vin's mom at?
Real quick, Vin's mom.
Sorry, okay. I was thinking about making a joke like that, but
You didn't. You made the joke, and I appreciate it.
Not
It's
my
okay.
sister.
I was gonna make a joke about Carlos trying to seduce Vin's mom.
Oh. Well, she is a very powerful woman.
Yeah. She's married.
Her husband's a nerd, though.
Yeah.
Fucking around with
Perfect.
magic and shit.
Look at this nerd. What you need is a real man. One that knows how to use a sword.
A real lizard.
You ever heard of the knotted coupled?
Carlos the
Okay,
Lot Lizard.
Sorry, alright.
Oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
The greatest lot lizard that ever lived.
Oh my god.
Oh, I was given some M&Ms in the background, and they're really tasty. So Della, who is the matriarch of House Helvani, you are informed that she is busy dealing with issues of religious extremists attacking pilgrims in the lower district of the city. She's in meetings with the House Guard and a few other like officials to try and figure out how to stop it. And then Vin's oldest brother, who's the only other sort of person of note who is missing right now, is leading a raid into a mind flayer nest with troops of two other houses and then rangers of the Sundered Hollows. These are the things. These are the things you know. Cool places in the Helvani house include the Sun Garden, which is a fun little terraced garden. Even though it's called the Sun Garden, it doesn't actually ever see any sunlight directly. But it does have a lovely shade garden. It does have real plants. It's quite a nice place. And you can see the sunrise and the sunset from there, which is pretty much the lowest place you can see the sunset possible.
Nephis goes to the Sun Garden. And waits to be called.
And waits to be called. There's all the other general fun facilities. House Helvani also features a very interesting cadre of elite female soldiers called the Anaven Killian, which in Drow are called sword dancers. And they dress similar to the macabre sort of harlequins in very, I don't want to say tight fitting in a bad way, but tight fitting is in like form fitting leather armor, and they carry sets of rapiers as well as poisoned daggers. And they can be seen training and patrolling through the complex.
Now's your time to show off your skills with the rapier. Die.
In the courtyards of House Helvani, I'm just gonna keep puttering until you're ready, Carlos, because yeah, you're kind of your decision to move on. I'm happy to have a bunch of stuff that I can do, but let me know when you're ready.
What type of floor is in the garden?
Lots of shade plants. That's the best I can describe to it, but there is like broad-leafed greenery. There's like small fish pools with aquatic creatures that are pretty odd looking to you.
Ooh.
I can't describe any of them, but they're like those deep ocean fish kind of thing. Those are really weird. It's really weird. Not the fish that never see any light whatsoever, but a little bit close to it. They're weird looking fish. Maybe Nephis has seen something strange like that before, but that's my my visual estimate kind of comparison.
Nephis snarls his nose and walks away. Nasty fish.
There's also some like more exotic, interesting like vine plants and things like that that definitely have come from the Underdark up and not from the surface down. In the main courtyard, there is a statue of the goddess Elistre, which is different from the statue that was in Cairona House. I think that's all of the points I have here.
Are we being escorted around like
No, this
the
is not
Cairona?
the same.
Oh.
You're free to wander. You're sort of give me a second.
Copy that.
Okay, fuck it. Kardoc, I can sit here and type, or I can talk to you directly. I'm just gonna do that. That's okay with you. So basically what's going on is you can voluntarily submit yourself to a ritual casting of the True Polymorph spell, which will turn you into a human. and I mean it literally like that, you will be turned into a human, not your true self. And I say that with capital T, capital S, because this matters, kind of matters. I'm working a lot off of the mechanics of the spells cast and the different things like that through D&D, because I don't have any other anchors. So you can do that. If you do that for an hour-long ritual, you will permanently change back into a human. There are also alternatives, because Artemis mentioned that if you are looking to change back into your true self, which is you're the way you were born, then there are other more extreme measures.
Okay.
If you're looking for, effectively, he's saying, I can do this. This is guaranteed to work 100%. I can do this for you right now, but all it's going to do is change you back into the form of a man.
Okay.
So that's...
Yeah, Carlos would be wanting to, like, get as close to his original form as possible, so he'd be... If there's something more extreme, he'd be willing to do that.
Okay, so he sits you down and tells you, I'm going to suggest this first thing because it's the best way, it's the best, most guaranteed option, but it's very extreme. He says, if you can find a necromancer, and in the Underdark there are necromancers, I'm sure that as there are in the surface world, who have achieved some great power. They have the ability through your sacrifice, reconstruct you in your true form. They will bring you back. They will bring your soul and its original form back into the world. But the caveat is you must kill yourself.
Carlos would kind of like raise his eyebrows and be like, okay, what's the other option?
The other options are pursue magical creatures of rarity and great legend. Enough legend that I'm sure you can find them somewhere, but magical creatures that are capable of performing powerful magics have been known to accomplish otherwise impossible sounding tasks. Aside from that, perhaps seek the blessing of a divine being. That would many miracles have happened to brave heroes and such, returning them from age, disease, all that sort of thing. I would be confident that maybe if you went the religious route, you'd probably find a solution there. Otherwise, the only other thing I can tell you is perhaps embrace your new form. Either of these options may have you traveling in it for a while longer. Perhaps you might consider getting comfortable and enjoying change. However, he kind of like sniffs and looks at Vinshenzo for a second. However different it may be.
He's hideous, Father. Look at him.
Your father thwacks you in the arm like a way a father would chide his child. Not like enough for it to be painful, but anyways.
It would be painful to them.
Mind your manners. It's disrespectful to speak of your friends like that to their face.
To their face.
He's been changed, Father. We must fix him.
I've given him the knowledge I have. It's up to him to make a choice now.
Carlos would kind of like cross his arms and look down at the floor and kind of furrow his brow as he thinks of what he'd like to do. In your experience, which Which of these do you think has the highest chance of success?
I'd personally go to a necromancer, but honestly, if I ever get changed into a kobold, I don't think I would suffer myself that indignity for longer than it was necessary, and I would probably choose to end my life.
Exactly.
Base.
Seems a little extreme to me.
When you've lived as many lifetimes as I have, young, whatever you are, you'll understand that while death's embrace should not be avoided, it doesn't have to be feared either. Long silence.
Indeed, it's a weighty decision.
Well, in that case, I'm going to get Isaac to roll me a 1d6.
Oh my. I wonder what will happen. Oh, baby.
6. Amazing. Okay.
He did it.
Hope 6 is good.
So you're in a nice big castle, and I'll pose this question to each of you because it kind of matters. Aside from the obvious Carlos and Vinshenzo, we all know where they are. Where would you be if you were in a castle? You don't even have to think if you think of a facility, it's there. This is a very extensive and expensive place. So there's likely a spot for everyone. I think Nephis said he was in the Shade Garden, but I couldn't remember if you left after you saw Ugly Fish or not.
What time of day is it?
It's about noon.
Underdark
Just
time.
past noon. You do see sunlight. Like through the mouth of the cavern.
In that case, I'm going to be in the kitchen getting lunch.
Oh, I forgot to add +1 to my next roll. God damn it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
+1 to what there? What?
Because I played the piano.
Ah. There's pianos in this house too. They're not as nice though.
I must play them.
They're still very nice.
You must play them.
It's the same affair. There's like a smaller personal piano for closer entertainment, and then there's a larger performance piano in the in sort of the ballroom.
Hell yeah.
Performance piano, grand piano, I should say, and then a mini grand. Okay, cool. So Isaac's he making a sandwich. Devon's in the garden. Sorry, Nephis is in the garden. Khutula, where would Khutula be if she were in a nice big castle place?
She's in the garden, crouching by a pool and watching the fish.
She's watching the fish. Okay. Oh, that actually works quite well. So, Isaac, you are hanging out in the kitchen making a snack. All the little servant girls are giggling at you as they watch you making a big snack.
Servant boys.
No.
Oh.
No. There's no drow servants in this place. As in, the servants are not drow.
Hell yeah.
In this kitchen, I should say. There are drow house servants, but they're not in this kitchen. This is the cooking staff. Anyways, so they're sitting there giggling. There's like they're mostly half elves, or high elves, or wood elves.
Oh.
They're still elvish, but yeah. Anyways, aside from the point, watching you have a snack, and then two house guards come through, and they basically start doing the same thing you're doing. But they are Drow, and they kind of shove the girls out of the way. Not meaning to be rude, but they're just on a mission. And they start grabbing ration packs and a few other things. And they, as they're gathering bread rolls and other few stuff like that, one of them turns to the house servant girl and says, "You should go let the matriarch know that there's troubles in the Sundered Hollows. We're sending reinforcements there, but we're gonna need extra food as well. We're sending a larger patrol." And one of the girls bobs her head and runs off. And one of the Drow looks up and acknowledges your presence, sort of in a puzzled way, and then carries on going about his work. A few minutes later, alarm bells begin to sound across the castle keep, and troops start mustering to the main courtyard.
God damn it, Vin.
Good luck, everyone. A fucking sandwich. You don't have to react to it. That's what happened. You can keep eating the sandwich if you want.
No. If an alarm's going off, I'm gonna head out and check why the fuck there's an alarm going off.
What is that?
Everyone can pretty much
racket?
hear?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to double check and see where people were.
Cab.
Is this some kind of alarm?
Seeing as Nephis and Khutula are outside in the garden, that's why you two would have heard it. And then in the Sundome, you guys would have heard it because you're high up and bells travel. And as the bells go off, Artemis tells you, probably some house guard thing.
So it's nothing we need to worry about?
I think you need to worry about making the decision about your future, my son.
Hear that, Vin? We're
You've been
brothers.
adopted.
Why don't you love me, brother?
I didn't have to hear it from my father to know.
Well, I think I'll need to do a little research on these three avenues and figure out what the best option would be for me. But if I decide any of them are unfeasible, then I might take up your offer for a ritual.
I would recommend you speak to my daughter Della. She is keen on studying, and she knows a lot about different extreme magical rituals, creatures, and otherwise. She might have either new information, or she can provide you more details about all the different options I've given you, including different references and such if you need.
Tracking down a necromancer, Mr. Carlos. I don't know.
Well, if you prefer, we could also...
A higher powerful necromancer, but they're farther into the Underdark, if that's what you wish. A friend of mine, well, used to be a friend, but I know where one is. I can send you on your way with an introductory letter and everything if you'd like, but...
Yes, but traversing the Underdark is no... I'm fairly certain Mr. Carlos, as well as the rest of my traveling partners, aren't privy to such tasks.
Is it any more dangerous than what we've already endured?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, pish posh, young Vinshenzo. Traveling between the cities has become safer than it used to be. It's fine.
Why are you on his side, father?
Just stay near your personal escort and stop being such a. Well.
Did you say stop being a you?
Stay with you when you're being so soft.
Yes, well. Apparently you haven't been informed of my accomplishments, father.
That would require you to write, son.
Oh,
did
He kind of
not
turns
find it
away from
necessary.
Vinshenzo and looks at Carlos and says, "Now, if there's anything else I can help you with, I would be happy to give more information, but I do believe my daughter is more of a more accomplished at research than I am. She has quite the knack for it."
yes, that does sound like a good idea. Is she on the estate currently?
So he holds up a finger and he closes his eyes and he kind of you see his like eyes moving behind his eyelids for a moment and he said, "She'll be by shortly." And when about like 2 or 3 minutes of waiting, she like comes out of the same entrance that she had left from initially, and she comes over to you and bows her head politely.
Greetings, you must be Della.
She says, "Della the Second."
Yes, of course. Pleasure to meet you. Has your father gone over anything of my condition to you?
She offers to basically help you dig into it. She can. It's up to you if you want to role play it out. We can do that, but at the same time, she can just background it if you like to sort of take time to figure out your next move. I'm giving you this as an option. We can explore this though too. I'm just trying to provide options for you to continue. If you know what you're doing, totally fine. We can do it this way. I'm not sure if you needed more time to think or not.
Well, Carlos would ask her. Well, he'd bring up the 3 options that her father gave him, and he'd ask if she knew anything specific about any of those. Well, he already, other than the necromancer one, because her father already knows a necromancer, so that one's already kind of solved. But he'd ask her about like if there were any kind of legendary beasts that could help him, or what kind of divine being might be interested in a not rather unreligious individual.
She tells you proving yourself to a divine creature that is entirely an act of character and nothing that you can study from a book. However, if you're looking for creatures to bestow gift upon you, you're looking at hunting down or otherwise trying to gain the favor of things like genies or dragons. Blue dragons are the most powerful and the most magical. Then she can go look at a few other books, but genies and dragons for her are the 2 that she can think of. Elder hags, anything with natural magical potency, rare powerful beasts, anything that's been rumored to grant wishes, she tells you.
That does sound like
it's the common folklore in the surface world is wishes.
Vinshenzo sighs heavily.
She tisks at you and she says, "I provide the answers. I don't judge the content of the information."
That's right, Vin. It's my choice to make. You are not the one that got changed. Perhaps if you did, you'd have a different perspective. Would you not want your own form back?
Excuse me, Mr. Carlos, but I believe it is my doing that you are here learning everything that you are, and A solution
That does
has
not
been
mean you get to
proposed
dictate
you
how I go about
directly,
doing it.
and you're actually considering for a moment to stand in front of a dragon. Mr. Carlos, I would stand beside you in many situations, but I do not know if I'd be privy to such things.
Your sister cuts in and says, "The both of you are so silly. I would take the opportunity to turn myself into something wonderful, maybe with wings. You have an opportunity to find a new experience and an interesting adventure in life."
And you, Della, you're filling Carlos's head with fairy tales and storybook images. That will surely
I doubt that, Vinshenzo.
end in
That's
him
always been your
dying
area of
horribly.
expertise, the make-believe.
Dying horribly if he is to follow them and actually find one of these creatures.
If your friend is foolish enough to go chasing dragons, then he deserves whatever consequence he meets. And she gives you a bit of a wink.
He is a
You,
human
Carlos.
after all, originally, and now a kobold. Please, please spare these foolish fairy tales from his naturally grandurious mind.
Okay. So Isaac, I'll leave you to nail down your game plan, or if you want to just leave it undecisive, however you want to handle it. That's you're the captain of that ship now, Carlos.
Standing. I don't know, that dragon thing sounds interesting. Maybe it's the kobold part of him taking over, but
No, Carlo.
after all, kobolds are supposed to be descended from dragons.
But you're descended from magical trickery. Dragons will be able to sniff your dirty human form out immediately. Oh my.
Well, then he'll know that my story is true. After all, I'm not looking to plunder his riches, but no, that would probably be a bad idea. Vin has inadvertently put the idea in Carlos's mind to rob a dragon.
It wasn't me, it was my bitch sister.
Well, I'm gonna leave you to figure that out, and I'm gonna carry on over to the rest of the party here.
I mean,
Nephis and Khutula, how are you holding up?
Hello. Ish. Finch. I think we were just agreeing to possibly look for the others due to that alarm.
The alarm. All right. You do have. So I just noticed in the chat, even though there's no one like actively interacting with you, it is a little bit smaller and there's no one guiding you around. But you do have. There is staff. There are similar to House Cairona. There are people nearby where you can go and ask questions, but they adopt mannerism where they don't interrupt your day, you interrupt their day, kind of thing. They're there to serve you, but they don't just come up and ask you if you need anything, because it would be interrupting your train of thought, which might be more important than they are sometimes.
Oh,
Damn
it's
right.
one of those kind of places.
Sir, would you like a drink and you get a backhand instead? Yes, sometimes that happens. So they politely stand by, and whenever you I will say that you know this because you've seen it replicated, just because you've been in past houses and you've been wandering around the grounds. And you know that anybody who is not staff, you can do so much as snap a finger and ask for whatever, a drink, a snack. Where's this person? Do the whatever, like the staff is there to serve. You are by extension, as a guest of a noble family member, somebody who is served. So you have access to this service. You don't have to snap your fingers and bark at them. You can be nice about it, however your character would interact with these people, but there is already access to information and all that shit.
I suppose we could ask one of them.
Nephis immediately starts walking towards one of the guards or house people.
Yeah, there's a
Person.
male Drow house servant who's wearing House Havani sort of robe. Depicts him as a thing, and as you get close enough to him, he straightens up and acknowledges your presence with a slight bow.
Flaring his nose, Nephis says, "What's that alarm that's sounding off in the lower? Is it coming from the lower region?"
It's alarm bells coming from around the house walls itself, so that the house Havani has they're not ringing now, but they were ringing earlier. They've stopped ringing since. But yes.
What was the ringing of those bells? Sounded like an alarm.
The servant tells you that there's been a general call to arms because the garrison, as part of the garrison, is deploying to the Sundered Hollows.
Where that?
Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, where might that be? Is it anywhere nearby?
He tells you that it's an area just outside the city, in the Underdark, where, in relevance to House Helvani, he says that's an area outside the city where egregious Helvani led a raid. They've summoned reinforcements to help in their attack. There's a mind flayer nest. It's not more than an hour or two away, but he tries to reassure you. He says, but there's no danger. It's just standard practice that if the garrison is deployed, that we raise the alertness of the guard just in case.
Nephis kind of raises an eyebrow and leans over towards Khutula, and he whispers, "Mind flare?" Question mark.
She kind of whispers back. Never saw one, but they're bad news.
Bad news bears.
Bad news flares.
Well, I suppose that means we're all right. Say, do you know what that fish is in that pond? And Nephis points his finger.
The servant squints and bends over a little bit, and he said, that is a spotted lime worm."
Oh. Were there other fishes?
There were.
What's that one?
I would like to pull him over towards the pond and begin asking him.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be RP'd out, but
He knows all the fish. He's actually the guy who feeds them, so he tells you all about the fish.
Oh, that's awesome. I tell him about our
Nephis
adventures
is
with
happy.
fish. I'm happy.
Isaac and Khutula. Khutula's having a great time. Isaac, you're making a sandwich.
I was making a sandwich.
You was making a sandwich.
Shit.
I would have gone to check out what the fuck the alarm was, but
You would have been given the same information if you would have been given the same information if you had asked one of the house staff. But if you're going to go out and check out, the bells that you would have heard closest to you would be at the front gate, and when you go there, you see up to 50 guardsmen on foot, and another 20 cavalry riding lizards are preparing to march out the gate in formation.
damn.
You also notice that there's guards now patrolling the walls a little bit more thickly, and there's a few more sword dancers that are now sort of walking the grounds. And there's 2 sword dancers that appear in the shade garden as you guys are talking about fish, Nephis and Khutula.
Yes. Yes, Kardoc.
What is that?
What's going on?
Cry out for
Oh, there's not an attack or anything? Okay, fine. Returns to sandwich.
Return to sandwich. Okay. Deadly. Alright, duders. Carry on with that. Not Nephis, sorry. Vinshenzo and Carlos, you finish up your business.
Yeah. Carlos wants to know more about dragons and stuff and where he might find one.
Dragons are more of a surface world thing, and Della II admits to you that she does not actually know much about dragons because they do not exist in the Underdark. They are not well documented here.
Carlos is disappointed. What kind of legendary divine beast creature things exist in the Underdark?
Oh, Carlos.
That's a very good question, and I will tell you.
A great many horrible things.
Yeah, there's a lot of horrible things that exist in the Underdark.
Can we just skip to the ones that might possibly be benign?
She just gives you a wide-eyed stare and says, honestly, good sir, I think if you're going to challenge a creature in the manner of which you speak, you might want to go back to a place of your own. The horrors down here are not of your world.
There are peaceful creatures, but
I imagine they're not powerful. At least not the kind of powerful we're talking about.
Oh, there are some powerful ones. I do not go out very much.
Really, Vin? I would have never imagined.
Della II does know a lot about Underdark creatures, and she can tell you things about the Underdark creatures. I don't know every single one of them off by heart, and I'm double checking here. Oh man, the answer is yes. There are things that you could go and try and convince to give you a wish in the Underdark, but you would have to go quite deep.
Oh my. Why are you telling him all this, Della, dear sister?
My dear brother, I provide the information. What your friend does is up to him. If he wants to throw his life away, and she looks at you and says, sorry, if he wants to return to his true self, that's his decision.
Yes, but I must accompany him, otherwise he'll die alone.
She slaps the same way your father does, she does to you, and she says, stop being so dramatic. If he's going to go do that, just leave. You don't have to accompany him. You're not tied at the hip.
Trust me, I'm very familiar with how dramatic Vin can be. It is no surprise at this point.
He's my husband.
Is that it then? My input is completely invalid, and you both have garnered respect for this thing as soon as he entered the chamber because he carries a sword with him instead of a lute. Well, very well.
Oh, go play your piano. Leave us alone. We're discussing important matters.
She basically...
It's noontime. You should be fetching her food. Be a
Vin
gracious host,
storms out.
Vinshenzo.
Shouldn't you be in the kitchen?
You won't make a proper husband if you keep running off like that.
Carlos would only manage to stifle his laughter until Vin was out of earshot.
Can we have a fucking sandwich, you stupid bitch?
Oh, I have to say, I've never seen anyone put Vin in his place like that before. What a treat.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing, really. I'm surprised you let him get so out of hand.
To be fair, I thought all Drow were like him. He's the only one I've ever met.
Oh, you get a fucking glare.
I mean, obviously I know better now, but... Imagine if you'd only met one human, and you'd probably think they're all mostly the same, right?
That's right, you don't realize they have human... Oh yeah, you might know that they have human servant staff. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're still getting the glare. Like, that's quite a foot you put in your mouth there, my friend.
That was pretty racist, not gonna lie.
Out fucking standing. Is this the one that I was? No, I was looking at a different one. Sorry, I'm trying to find Underdark creatures while we're doing this. Anyways, there's a big list. She'll tell you all of the evil, dangerous things that you could find.
Outstanding.
I expected you to be sad. Why do you want to go to the depths of the darkest parts of the world to fucking die? Okay.
If it isn't feasible,
It's not feasible. It's totally.
This is
Now I have
probably
to-
the most reasonable fucking like spurg out that Vin has ever had, and he just gets laughed out of the room.
yes, but it's
Find your
hilarious.
older sister. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes, it'd be easy. You just have to go to the 11th level of hell.
Oh, there we go.
That's right, there's 2 secret levels.
The secret level.
It's the cow level.
It goes up to 11 because 11's higher than 10.
9.
Yeah.
There's 9 rings of hell.
I've read the fucking Bible.
Okay, I know there's a few monsters that do have the ability to do what I just can't think of them off my hand. I'm not going to stall the session longer than it's
Yeah,
necessary.
you can always provide it later. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go
100%.
find them this
I know.
this session.
I will provide them to you later, but yes, that is an option. There are creatures in the Underdark. You are questioned as to why you would want to do that, but at the same time, there's pretty scary shit in the overworld too. So
Carlos wouldn't say that he's committed to anything in the Underdark yet. He just wants to know all of his options so he can weigh the best decision. If everything in the Underdark seems scarier than a dragon, then he'll discount that idea and probably go with something else. Dragon. Or a genie.
basically, the most fair way I can describe it is you're being told about all the shit down here is fucking scary, but they have no idea what's up there either. Sorry, but they don't really know what's up there. The overworld is just as strange to a lot of these people as the Underdark is to you.
Oh, well, I guess I'll have to poke Khutula's brain then. She's a Dragonborn. She must know of dragons, right?
Big thumbs up.
Khutula, I need you to recount all of this from memory. Or find the books and read them.
Fish.
Fish. Look, I told you how to use a sword. It's the least you can do.
Okay, well, Carlos gets a... Wait, are you gonna go to Khutula then?
No, not right now.
Oh. Okay. Well, so you're gonna think on how you want to go, or are you gonna? It's okay to not decide what you want to do with your life right now, but at the same time, I need to.
Yeah, that's what I literally told you. He wants to know his options in detail before he commits, because he's not going to just be like, oh, I want to choose this option knowing nothing about it.
Deadly. Okay, so what? I've been waiting for you to.
It doesn't need to be.
What you're doing next. Spend so much time talking about decisions. Just tell me what you're gonna fucking do. You don't.
Look, this was all Vin's idea, okay? Don't get mad at me.
You want to go eat a sandwich?
There's only one clear and right answer, and I'm not sharing it.
I just care about how the world is interacted with.
Occam's
At this
razor
point.
genius.
You guys are all treading water here. Someone's got to start swimming. I don't care who.
Nephis
I
gets into the
stormed
pond.
out of the room.
Yeah, you stormed out of the room. Cardoc's gonna. Sorry, not Kardoc. Carlos is gonna do what he's doing. Nephis and Khutula are looking at fish.
If I think if Della would just need like time to collect resources at this point. If that's the case, then Carlos would probably excuse himself, and then he probably would find Khutula and be like, "Hey."
She's happy to go and continue to look at information in the library for you. She is smart,
Yes.
but she can.
Carlos would
She's been.
thank her
Yeah.
for her help
An
thus
extra
far.
large chibi sweater wave goodbye.
Yeah, that. But yeah, then I'd go find Khutula.
Khutula.
Carlos would kind of, yeah. I guess he would either be directed towards her or eventually find her in the garden.
Both. You would be directed towards her. If
Outstanding.
You ask somebody, they know where she is.
Carlos would stand like a bit a ways from the pond. He'd noticed that Nephis was busy with one of the servants talking about fish. He'd kind of like give him a curious look, but he wouldn't say anything. And he kind of get Cthulhu's attention and gesture her over to him.
She kind of like stops watching fucking Nephis losing his mind over fish and come on over.
Khutula, dear, hope this isn't inappropriate, but do you know anything about dragons?
She kind of like furrows her brow a bit, and it's just like, yeah, I guess. Like,
So I've
what
been.
way?
Well, here, let me explain that situation. I've been giving a number of options of how to return to my true form. Apparently, just doing another ritual would just turn me into a human, not me. I don't know if that's good enough. Like, going from one, it would be probably a more familiar body, but it still wouldn't be me. You know? So, I was given basically 3 options. I can kill myself and have a necromancer resurrect me, which just seems scary. Because,
A little bit.
putting my hands and putting my life in someone else's hands, you could just as easily be like, I don't feel like it anymore. It's a little final. The other 2 options are finding a legendary beast that is capable of ancient magic, or praying to a divine being, which I've pretty much already discounted at this point. I mean, you know me well enough, Khutula. So, apparently a lot of the powerful beings down here are ghastly and evil and whatnot, so I've been advised against that. They're still getting information from me anyway, but they did bring up 2 other possibilities, dragons and genies. And, well, you're a Dragonborn. Is that something that a dragon could do? And would they be willing to do such a thing? Would they require some kind of recompense?
Would I roll?
History.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it's history or possibly Arcana, but 11.
That's a solid roll.
Oh wait, 12. 12.
You are aware that some of the more powerful ancient or older adult dragons are powerful spellcasters, as well as have been rumored to grant either their followers or creatures that have sort of owed them favors or done great favors. Will grant wishes, cure diseases, bless the weak, and all that sort of thing. You are aware that they do possess that kind of immense power.
Yeah, some dragons can do that.
Splendid.
You
Where would one?
than textbooks, though, I will say that.
She does
Have you
not share
ever-
that.
I don't suppose you've ever met one before.
Despite my appearance, I feel like if I met a dragon that directly, I don't believe I would be here right now.
Are they that aggressive? I would have thought he'd kind
I
of
mean,
motion with his hand.
I can't say I have much experience with, well, ancient dragons. In fact, I can't really say I have much experience with Dragonborn for the most part. At least, you know, like,
In a society?
yeah, I guess.
She doesn't live in a society.
She's a Sigma female.
Well, I guess everyone grows up differently. I mean, I never knew my parents, so there's that. Don't know what that's like.
That's okay, I never had any.
Never. You mean you never knew them?
No,
Right?
she will not elaborate on this.
Blows Carlos's mind, refuses to elaborate.
Who's asking the questions here?
Carlos, so was Vin's father able to figure out how to change you?
Yes, but there is some limitations. So he could turn me into a human, but not
Fantastic.
me per se, not my true self. Yes, I'm sure that would be good enough for you, Nephis. But I am not accustomed to. Hold on, what's the word? I'm not accustomed to settling for something like that.
What are you talking about? You would be you.
I wouldn't be me, I would just be another human. Yes, that would be maybe closer to me, but it still wouldn't be me.
Surely your own consciousness is more
you're not you
important than
now.
your some physical appearance.
You aren't you anyway.
I'm never gonna be me again.
Are you sure you're not just hungry?
So why don't we just do the ritual, and then you can change how you look later. Because all of this, I don't know how much longer this could last.
What do you mean, how much longer this could last? Do you have something to say, Mr. Nephis?
Just saying, your capability
I am
as your
just
form.
as or more capable than I ever was.
More.
Would you care to test me, Mr. Nephis?
Nah, I wouldn't want to make a fool out of you, Carlos.
Mm-hmm. As you were then.
I am waiting here, after all, for you to be changed back. And if that's not gonna happen, I suppose there's nothing to do here. Nephis walks away.
Khutula is just kind of standing there staring at them.
Are you guys gonna fight?
Are you done now?
Nephis walks away in search of Vin.
Oh no. They're gonna conspire against me. What if we just knock Mr. Carlos unconscious and bring him to my father?
Be quite easy. He's small.
Give him a piggyback ride.
Well, Khutula just kind of like awkwardly brushes it aside. So you said they're gathering information?
Yes, Della the Second, she is being very helpful. She's gathering information on legendary beasts and other magical things, and I suppose the library. Why? Are you interested in learning from her?
I just mentioned it, and I wasn't sure what that exactly meant or how long it might take.
Not long,
she's-
probably.
Yeah, I imagine she already knows what she's looking for the most part.
I imagine she's probably looking for the least deadly ones, or at least the ones that are least likely to deal in death. I imagine if you're that strong, then like life and death can become trivial to you.
I suppose.
I don't know, Khutula. If you were changed into something else, what would you do?
I don't know. Deal with that when it happens. Or well, if it happens, I suppose.
As always, your input is invaluable to me, Khutula. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I suppose I never really had. I don't know if being changed would be much different than how things already are.
I suppose you've probably always felt out of place.
One way or another. She kind of like motions at herself with like her feathers and such. How often do you see feathered Dragonborn?
She's already
be
a
fair,
mutant.
To be fair, I've never seen many Dragonborn, but I must admit, of the few that I have seen in my journeys, you're definitely the only one with feathers. Didn't want to mention it in case it was rude.
He just kind of shrugs.
You brought it up now, Carlos.
She brought it up. It's not my fault.
I see you've noticed. I'm going to trauma dump now.
Senpai has noticed me.
I take it this has something to do with your unusual upbringing?
I suppose so. That's a conversation for another time once we figure out a little more of what we're dealing with, or what powers we're dealing with, rather.
Is Khutula referring to like the legendary beast Carlos has been talking about, or just what they're going to be doing in the future in regards to like the vampires and whatnot?
I don't know. Why don't you ask her?
I just wanted to ask in case it was supposed to be obvious.
Well, are you?
Is there some reason why now isn't appropriate? Don't see what has much to do with deciding to do things.
It's just that whole business with the kingdom and the wizard, the court wizard, I guess you can call him.
Lyndon?
Whatever his name is. I recognize that symbol. It's very familiar. I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of them.
Yes. What So, what do you know about that symbol? What group does it belong to? I take it this isn't the first time they've dabbled in such experiments, and Carlos would kind of motion grandly at himself.
No, very much is not.
What is their goal? What were they trying to achieve?
I'm not entirely certain, to be perfectly honest. They just seem to... my guess is they try to disrupt the flow of power throughout the world so that they can... I'm not sure if they're trying to just simply sow chaos or if they're trying to build up their own influence. Possibly both.
There seems to have be a lot of evil afoot in these past months that we've been together. First vampires, and now dark cultists. Makes you wonder what's to come of the world.
Well, I don't believe they're entirely unrelated.
You think they're in league?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, do you remember that creature that Nephis mentioned to us? The one we tried to take prisoner with its mouth sewn shut? I wouldn't be surprised if that was involved with them too.
Yes, that does seem beyond the abilities of Tristan and his shipping company. Nothing I've ever seen before. When I got chased away.
Ringing again.
What's up?
Oh my word!
Start ringing again across the castle, and they do start extending beyond the district itself.
That does not sound good.
Carlos would kind of look up
to the main gate.
Carlos would look up around and be like, "Seems like there's more alarm bells." He'd look around for servants and ask them if there's anything to be concerned about. With how many
themselves are looking around nervously.
Oh, that's never a good sign. I think perhaps we should shelve this conversation, Khutula. As much as I appreciate your honesty, but I feel we may want to gather the group together. Something maybe afoot.
Aye, it's a tale for another time.
A tale. All right, Carlos would try to gather everyone together, I guess.
All right. So Vinshenzo, if you are still talking to your wife while you're like walking around, she heads into the main courtyard from where she found you in the hallway.
How did she respond to me?
Well, that was sort of like a well, I mean, you acknowledged her request. She said if you want to prove yourself to her, she could always use your help and your knights.
Vin is like reluctantly being like, I'll go along with anything you say.
Yeah. And then she basically, after saying that, she turns away to address her like personal guardsmen and shit. So she turns around and moves off to conduct her activities.
Okay, so she's not being like, yeah, I need you.
No. You said like, hey, send for me if you need help. You'd be impressed with the skills. She's like, hey, I could use you right now if you want. If you'd like to come and prove yourself to me, bring yourself and your knight.
Vin,
and then you said
okay.
I would do anything for you, and then she just turned and walked away, like with a smile and everything. Well, not in a mean way, but
So she believes that Vin's going to help her, basically.
that's what.
Don't disappoint your wife now.
That's whatever Vin wants it to. Well, whatever Vin means, he can act on what he meant.
She'll send for me if she needs help.
Either way, at the same time, the bell. Well, as you finish your conversation, the bells start ringing as your wife's walking away. Shortly after, Isaac comes sprinting into the courtyard. Nephis eventually finds you jogging no faster than jogging up to you, and then I'm not sure, Carlos and Khutula, where you guys would go and look if you're following Nephis, but you end up at the you end up passing through the courtyard, and you see enough familiar faces.
Yes.
And there's another, like, a few dozen more Helvani House troops that are lining up at the gate as well. Well, at the gate, I should say. You guys are at the back in the courtyard. They're moving to the front gate and lining up in formation. There's a few of the Harlequin sword sisters that are forming up as well. Well, I say forming up, but they're at the gateway as well, like talking to each other and walking across the troops.
Carlos would approach Vin. Vin, what seems to be going on? The alarms seem more urgent than before, and everyone seems to be on edge.
Yes, she's preparing to head out. I don't know what, this is different, the Silver Ring. Amongst the rebels. Yes, I'm not very, certain on what the actual issue is.
I'll give you whatever you want to know on the Silver Rings, because that is something that you might know more about, but the rest of it is intended to be just as what is it.
Well, it's a new issue since I've left, so I assume I'm not very familiar.
You're aware of what the Silver Rings of Cairona are, though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Cairona, yeah. However the fuck that's spelled. So silver rings are a symbol of the goddess Cairona, that girl, who is the goddess of undeath and revenge, and she is also one of the principal sort of aggressors. Their followers detest the followers of Ilistre.
Yes, the local peasantry is up in arms, wants to tear apart the civilized world.
Huh, are they a constant problem?
Not since I've left, so I'm not too keen on the scope of the issue, but I'm sure it'll be taken care of.
Would Carlos have seen him and his wife talking while he was moving over to him?
Carlos would not have seen that they spoke at all, but his wife is nearby.
Nephis
nearby because she's talking to some of, like, she's down there as a commander talking to some other people in her getup. 2 of her house guard are with her, and 2 house guard are sort of standing nearby, keeping a distant eye on Vinshenzo.
Oh, well, if your house is in danger, shouldn't we help? We've been through so much, Vin. I mean, I'm sure everyone would agree to help you.
Trying to earn a favor, Mr. Carlos.
Perhaps just repaying one.
Why, you refuse to be transformed back into a human form? Paying for what?
I don't remember asking your opinion on anything, Mr. Nephis. Go back to your
Worth
fish.
More than yours.
I'm sure my wife has everything under control.
You sure do have a lot of faith in her, Vin. I suppose you're not wrong to do so.
So last fun little tidbit of background noise and motion, but as you guys are continuing the conversation, the front gate opens, and Amethre, Vinshenzo's wife, leads out the contingent of House Helvani soldiers, as well as a group of what look like bugbears come out from essentially like a basement somewhere. They come trotting out in double file, turn out the gate, and move out in advance of the Helvani troops. Who are...
Hold on, I need to look up what the hell a bugbear looks like.
Oh yeah, if you've never seen a bugbear,
They're
they're
oggy.
fucking... Imagine an orc married like a wild pig.
And they're furry.
Yeah. But
Oh my!
gross, like not Amazon, sorry, but like African boar hair. Fucking yeah.
Yes,
they're big,
Mr.
they're
Carlos, you would do well to behold the beauty of a strong and capable woman.
big.
Oh, thank God! For a second, I thought you were about to talk about the bugbears in such a manner.
I was referring to your previous comment.
Indeed,
Indeed.
indeed. Isaac's always down for scrap. Is he just kind of sitting by the sidelines? What's he doing?
He's ready for battle. Sorry, I'll let you say that for yourself.
I mean, I did earlier in text.
Oh, well, nobody heard that. Say it now. Participate, Mr. Isaac.
Wow. Look, I'm ready to throw down.
He's ready. He's standing there. He's ready to go.
Threw down some food, ready to throw down some foes.
He's still got half a sandwich.
Well, at least you got to see your family again, Vin, despite
Look, I can
Carlos's-
throw the sandwich as an improvised weapon.
He still has the sandwich?
Half of it.
It's a post-combat
Half of it.
snack.
I'm just being silly. Maybe he ate the whole sandwich. I'm playing around.
No, having half the sandwich still is funny, so therefore it is the case.
Yes, Mr. Carlos had quite a good time with my father and sister.
Wow.
Indeed, they are quite the pair. Give me some insight on you, Mr. Vin.
Yes. I'm sure. Almost ready to write you into his will ahead of me. I'm sure.
Oh, Vin, don't be so sour about it.
While he looks like this? Well, I see why.
Yes. Quite queer indeed.
I see why the other family has such an immaculate house compared to this.
Are you calling Vin's house dirty? Seems an insult to me.
At
I
least
merely
they
just
recognize my accomplishments. Ah.
Aye.
Well, perhaps Vin and his family are just more capable of looking beneath the surface of an individual, Mr. Nephis.
Perhaps.
Perhaps indeed.
Khutula, Isaac, want to weigh in on this?
Y'all sure are petty.
Did she say
I
that?
don't know what he looks like.
My wife
Pretty
will
much, yeah.
send for us if she needs me.
Well, should we get closer to the front then, if we're meant to be reserves?
I think I'd rather play the piano.
Yes, only you could play music while your wife puts herself in danger, I suppose.
It has gotten us this far, hasn't it, Mr. Carlos?
I suppose I can't argue that.
As the troops make their way along the bridge out of the front gate, you notice that the that the gates have not closed, and even though the troops are getting farther away, they remain open. Some more of the wall guards descend the towers and form like a little bit heavier of a defensive perimeter outside the gates. You see that the troops are deploying outside the bridge, sort of beyond the castle.
Fucking A. I say, Vin, is this normal? This seems a little... Seems like they're a little more on edge than just a skirmish.
Well, when I was talking about my fish, Carlos, the servant told me that there was some sort of, and he snaps his finger pointing at Khutula, Scorcher.
Mind Flayer?
Mind Flare.
Mind Flare.
Bad news.
I've only heard stories of those. I didn't think they were actually real. I thought they were just some kind of boogeyman or something made up, or something lost to myth and legends. Is this often a problem, Vin? These mind flayers?
Vinshenzo shrugs. He says, "There are always threats coming out of the darkness, Mr. Carlos.
One shudder.
The brave stand against them."
One shudders to think what would happen if you and yours were not here to stop them from making their way to the surface.
Yes. I suppose that's another favor you owe me.
Oh, is it now, Vin? A personal favor from your race to mine.
Yes.
Protection of our world. I suppose we all owe you that favor then, don't we, Vin?
No, I'm not a bearer of land, so that's on you.
Certainly my lineage. I still don't consider myself much of a fighter.
Yes, you've made that abundantly clear, Vin, but you are useful. At least.
What a colorful compliment from Mr. Carlos.
Indeed.
Always weighing people's uses. Look where it got Anton.
Yes.
I tried to help Anton, and he would not accept it. He had some lofty ideals of what was right, and that's where it got him.
Speaking of which, why are you still in this ghastly image?
I'm weighing my options, Vin.
You walked
Even
right
if I
into
did
that
begin
one.
the ritual, I'm not sure if your father would even be up to it right now while danger is afoot.
Yes, well, you'd be wise to take advantage of such gifts while they are still available. You are not used to Drow customs.
I suppose I'm not. Perhaps you could enlighten me.
I don't believe any of us are, Vin.
Let's just
I don't
say
even
when
really
you're,
think Ben is.
let's just say when you're given a gift, sometimes the best option is to just take it. We've come a long
So
way,
as you're
Mr.
discussing
Carlo.
amongst yourselves, a lizard-riding drow female in half plate, but with the tabard bearing yellow and black colors of an unfamiliar house lineage, scuttles how does a lizard run? I'm gonna say it scuttles into
Yeah.
the courtyard.
They
Looks
shimmy.
directly at Vinshenzo, mostly because he's the only one standing around that looks
He looks
culturally
normal.
appropriate,
I'm one of them.
and demands you fetch bandages and water for wounded refugees. She shrieks it
Big
across
mistake.
the courtyard as her bucking lizard is like fidgeting, and she's like, "Hey, get going now!"
Damn.
Big mistake.
I'll have a servant come right away. I use message on one of my servants, one of my family's servants, to get whatever they
Okay.
need up to the front.
Oh no! They want it here in the courtyard. You
Yeah.
have been tasked.
Wherever they
You
need it.
Have been tasked to receive. If you understand, you have been tasked to receive refugees.
What?
Then Vin's in charge.
Vinshenzo
I'm-
Cairona have been ordered by a female drow.
I thought she
to
was just
receive
like
refuge-
being like, "Oh, go get supplies."
No, she pointed at you. She pointed at you and told you to do something.
Yeah, go get bandages and supplies.
Uh-oh.
Right?
If you're just
Isn't
gonna
that what
cast
Chris
a little,
said? Am I insane?
But if
You're insane, but you're
cast
right.
a message with your brain and then like continue to just kind of look at her, she is going to get off of her lizard mount and storm up to you
No,
and say, okay, that's what I'm trying to get at.
I strum my lute and tell if okay, does she tell me to be like, you're receiving refugees now, or you're getting
Yes.
bandages and water and stuff?
No, you are.
I think she just needs confirmation that it's happening.
She wants you to go and get your courtyard ready to receive refugees. As a drow noble man who is standing in the courtyard, she's tasking you with a thing to do.
I strum my lute and use sending on one of the servants to act accordingly.
Deadly. Okay, so
That is one of my level
that's
3
why-
spell slots.
That's what I expect you to do, which is totally cool. Which then receives the following after not like you're not going and doing things, which she interprets as you not listening, and she's getting off of her mount and coming over to you, very angry.
I stand in front of Vin.
I have informed my servants of what you need. House Helvani will oblige. Simple soldier.
Oh,
As you get closer, I will state, just because you would know this, like she is a noble drow. As you get closer, you
Yes.
recognize that this is a noble drow.
Yes.
Okay.
Vin is full of himself and arrogant.
Okay, that's
Do you know who my wife is?
all right. Well, Nephis, she is not going to like pay you any mind, in the sense that she's walking towards Vinshenzo with the
I don't think Nephis
intent
said
to
that.
move past you. Yeah, he did.
Nephis said that
I
he
say
moved in
it's-
front of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was coming at you like a charging manner, it seemed like.
Not a
Oh.
charging, but like a very hostile walk. The same
Oh,
way
I
you
missed
see
that,
an
I'm
angry
sorry.
mom moving towards her misbehaving child
Oof.
with the big angry scowl and everything.
I have sent for the servants. House Helvani will oblige.
Okay, so this is more for the sake of Nephis, so that I understand how you're going to respond, but she's going to move you out of the way. She's going to act like exactly what she is. She's a noble person, and she's getting you out of the way so she can go deal with this miscreant.
Grapple check.
Well, that's what I'm double. If you're not going to budge, I need to know.
I'm in a mood.
Does she manhandle Nephis?
No, she's not going to. The second she realizes that Nephis is, and she's going to look at Nephis with a look of pure disgust, and she's going to say, "Move out of my way, slave!"
Oh no.
Nephis.
Excuse you? What the fuck?
Vin would say, "This is Mr. Nephis. As far as you know, he is a member of House Cairona."
Are you wearing anything that signifies you under House Cairona colors?
My signet
No.
ring.
Are you going to hold it out to identify yourself from behind
Yes.
Nephis?
He just kind of hooks his arm around Nephis.
I stay behind Nephis.
Just hooks it over his shoulder. Look, my signet ring.
She screws her lips up as tight as she can in a scowl, stamps her foot, turns on her heel, and struts off as fast as she strutted up to you.
Nephis says, House Helvani will send its aid.
She's like calls as she turns away, and she says, "Della the matriarch will hear of this insolence," and then gets on her lizard mount and like rides off, scuttles off.
Vin scoffs.
Is that something we should be concerned about, Vin?
It's just how the typical drama between the families. It's nothing to worry about.
Woman, am I right?
Yes.
She looked like she could tear you apart.
She'd start a war.
Yes, I imagine your wife wouldn't be very happy about that.
Yes. Especially
Where is
after
she,
my
by the way?
accomplishments.
Fighting her battles, I suppose.
No, she's still within eyesight. You can see her. She's across the bridge getting her troops deployed,
Hi, honey.
like less than 500 meters away, essentially. No, sorry, I'd say she's like a kilometer away.
Vinshenzo does like a little finger wave at her.
She got good eyes.
How's work going, honey?
You can't like see her, but you know she's there because as you guys have been sitting and chatting, you can see the troops march across the bridge, and you could see them stop at the other side. Like they didn't move into the lower districts; they stopped outside the castle. They were supposed to be going a lot farther away,
Yes.
and guards are deploying outside the front gate as a reserve.
This is what I was talking about when I said that you lot would be best to stay close to me and out of the city.
Yes, I believe if
Away
You're gonna
from
be-
the common folk.
I feel like I'd be more concerned about the nobles from the way they spoke to Nephis.
Yes.
I'd have a few choice words for Nephis myself, but I'd never insult him by calling him a slave.
You've called me many things already, Carlos. I don't hold it against you.
Yes, but a
You
slave,
are.
that's a step too far.
Yes.
It's all the same.
You're best to stay
I beg
within
to
the
differ.
grounds of the house. Slave is a bit of a harsh term. I prefer something else.
Indentured servant.
So eventually, you start to see people, more not soldiers but civilians, starting to move across through the crowd of soldiers that are far away. They're starting to materialize from sort of the blob into individual people. You can tell they're moving across the bridge now towards the house, or towards the castle that is House Helvani.
Did they look wounded?
Some of them look wounded as they get closer, depending on how long you guys just sort of wait and watch. The closer they get, the more detail you can see, obviously. But a few are wounded, some are just looking panicked, and others are sort of escorting their whatever party they're in, or whatever group they're part of, helping them move along. None of these people are really carrying possessions aside from, some backpacks or other sort of traveling packs. There are one or two who are armed, but it's more like armed civilians than it is soldiers or mercenaries or anything.
Okay.
Ooh.
Have the bandages and water been brought up to the courtyard yet?
Yeah, servants are beginning to show up with relief supplies and aid and such. It's like bread, and the clothing is not exactly what you would consider to be the finest of material, but it is fairly stock, sturdy stuff.
Well, if we're not gonna continue with Carlos's transformation, at least we could probably help these folk. And Nephis makes his way towards the refugees.
I believe Mr. Nephis might have the right of it this time. Seems like a crisis is afoot. I've learned a little about medicine. I think I will help too.
Yes, you certainly never have the right of it, Mr. Carlos.
There's the man hiding behind his wife.
Says the man who has no wife of his own.
Not anymore, Mr. Vinshenzo.
Oh.
And Carlos would walk away towards the refugees.
Don't believe him. It's another one of his lies.
Is it though?
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
So I don't think any of you guys speak Undercommon or Drow, and those are the two languages that are mostly being spoken by the refugees. If I'm wrong, that's totally cool, but they do speak a different language.
That was not an
Most of them.
available language for me
They
to
said
take.
yeah. I thought it was just Elvish.
No, those
Sorry,
are
I've been
languages.
browsing through 800 different wikis, so I haven't specifically been referencing like the player's handbook.
Undercommon is a thing, yes. It's an uncommon language.
Yeah. You,
Yeah.
you
Or
can't
exotic.
take it as a PC, I don't think.
Yeah. So what do they? What'd you say they know? Undercommon and what?
Languages are Undercommon and Drow, and I will state that Undercommon isn't exactly like a completely foreign language, but it's just different enough that it's not the language you're used to. It's either thick enough or bad enough that you can get through every like other word kind of thing.
Is how close is Elvish and Drow?
Elvish and Drow is similar to French and English.
Oh,
It's like gutter in Space Station 13.
I can't understand your accent.
outstanding.
Vin does Song of Rest to help the wounded soldiers. Can I do that on NPCs?
I don't see why not. They're people too.
They're people too.
I like to pretend that they are people too.
Non-people characters.
Yeah, but they don't have like hit die, right? Like
Yeah, but I could heal and
Do.
rest and fucking stabilize NPC when I had my solo adventure thing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can still tend to them. I mean, technically they have a profile and everything. They're commoner. And a commoner has like very minimal stats.
Okay, I spend the next I believe Song of Rest takes as long as a short rest.
Okay, so you're just going to be playing your Song of Rest as people are coming in.
Yeah.
Just because there is a not a stream, but a trickle.
Which means
continuous
they
trickle of, people.
heal better. They have an additional 1d6 added to their hit die when they roll to heal, which doesn't have to really be done. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, for the sake of the fact that it's like NPC commoners, we won't need to roll anything, but healing is still healing. Like if you're gonna heal them, I still want you to intend to use a spell, and you can still roll for it if you'd like.
this
but
is not a spell, this is an ability.
no, I'm making a general statement. Just because they're NPCs, the refugees are still need of help that you can help them
Yes.
with.
I would not
Nephis
use
would like-
spell slots on commoners.
Oh. Nephis would like to look through the wounded and kind of assess and triage them to see who's the most wounded.
Yeah. So you notice that a lot of the injuries you're noticing are puncture wounds, and while a number of individuals have been bandaged and everything, you notice that there is one male, drow male, who has a ripped shirt, and you can see that he's got some sort of a problem with his stomach. And I'd like you to roll medicine to check and see what it is.
Copy that.
Carlos approaches and would like to help.
Okay. Let me roll with advantage.
Roll another.
First one was 9. That would be a sorry, that was a 9 with modifier, and then that would be a. Or was it? I don't fucking remember. I'm just gonna use this roll. Oh my god, I'm fucking retarded. 10.
10. Okay.
Even Steven.
It looks like he's bruised. He's probably not a big priority. Actually, I'll let you determine that. I can't tell you what your priorities are, but he looks like he's got a bruise in his stomach.
And he's like covering it.
No, well, he's lying
clenching
down.
it?
He's very tired and upset, and it seems to be sagging a little bit, but it's got that sort of reddish purple color of a fresh bruise. So
Can Carlos reference his medical primer?
he can, yeah. But the two of you were looking at it, and that's what you have both so far determined, or at least Nephis, with your help, thinks this is what it is.
Is this from like a thorough examination or from a glance?
So
from,
you,
like-
with the intent to do triage, came upon this guy to see what his injury was to do your triage, and you so far have, with your quick sort of, I'm doing my job that I said I was doing, have noticed that you have identified him to have a bruise on his stomach. If you would like to spend more time examining him, you can, but so far with the intent of triage, you just gave him like a quick once over to see what his problem was.
Okay, just the only reason I ask is I'm wondering if he removed his hands from his chest to like visibly see it, because you said he was like covering it.
So there's a
Would he allow Nephis to examine him?
Yeah, he's a willing patient, and you're able to get a clear look at the injury, and the injury is as was described.
Oh no, a human's working on me. I'm doomed.
Don't tell him about me.
He might be, because I'm gonna not push him aside, but leave him and then move forward and looking for a possibly more injured or some more severely injured.
You see what looks to be a sickly, pale dwarf child with black hair. And this child is holding its arm. I say it because you're not quite sure what gender it is.
Ugh. Should I roll for medicine?
I would like you to roll for medicine. Yes, sorry.
Okay. Is Carlos still fucking hovering over me? I'm gonna fucking punch this bitch.
No.
To respond to him. So Carlos is at the last patient. He wants to examine him further. Carlos, you can roll your medicine for that too.
Okay.
I got a 16 for the child.
16 for the child. The child's upper arm is broken.
Ugh.
You can tell
Can you guys-
as you examine
is that a 20?
that it's pretty much midway up the upper arm.
Where?
And you can feel sort of the bone has cracked and split open. Sort of, it hasn't pierced the skin, but it's not in the right spot.
I didn't see you roll it, but if you rolled it, then yes.
Yeah, it fucking lodged right under there.
DM.
Sorry to interrupt, but-
though.
Nat 20 under there.
It's not that I don't believe you. I'm just very excited that it's just lodged like that.
Yeah, if
Here,
you're...
let's see what happens when we do this. It's 20.
Wow, holy shit.
Hell yeah.
It was lodged against that, so it counts. Maybe. Chris says it does.
TTS says 20, so I'm going with the fact that if I hover my mouse over it, said 20.
Hell yeah.
Nephis touches the child's arm, casting Cure Wounds at a level 2. Squeezing his arm. Its arm.
Child's arm.
The child. 14 HP.
Save the child.
You can feel the bone going back into place. With sort of you know the feeling like when you split a green stick and it kind of like all the like mini splits. It does that, but in reverse, and it's very. That's the unique experience you can imagine feeling. And the child cries, but at the end of it, kind of realizes that you've cured the pain, and it
Finn turns his
sniffs and
gaze
thanks you
away.
in a weird grating noise.
Hell yeah.
Carlos, with your nat 20, you are acutely aware that this is a textbook case of internal bleeding, and this guy is bleeding into his gut cavity.
Oh no.
I can't remember the actual scientific name, but I think it's like the organ cavity or whatever. But yeah.
Abdominal.
Abdominal cat.
Thank you. And you can see as you're watching that his kind of tummy area begins to bulge out a little bit, or like sag a little bit, as if he's bleeding internally.
Outstanding. What can I do with my healer's kit? Can I heal him?
You can try your darndest with your textbook as reference.
Okay.
Or you can call for help.
So does that mean
because you happen to have your textbook with you? I mean, do your medicine check.
You gotta poke his belly so all of it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, is that necessary?
Well, given the fact that
You
you
tell
mentioned
me.
it earlier today, I mean,
You're the
I'm
doctor,
just going off of
genius.
the fact that you said the words, "I have my textbook out."
Yeah, but I mean, this is what you told me before.
Medical performer, I'm a medicine passive, present and not in combat. Roger, got it, understood. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. So yeah, with that, but you did say with your healer's kit. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
So what do you have in a healer's kit?
I don't know. It keeps people from
To
dying.
think about how you solve internal bleeding. I guess you do. You are able to solve internal bleeding.
I just know. The character knows, even if we don't.
Yeah,
That's the
fucked
wonder
up.
of D&D.
a fucking textbook. But I will tell you, given the fact that I actually, as a human being, understand the concept of internal bleeding, it's going to take a while.
Sure, yeah.
It would be a
If that's
death
gonna tie me up
sentence.
for a while, that's fine.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
You're gonna get
There's
poo-poo on your
anybody who's
hand.
more in need. Anyways, Isaac, what are you up to?
Probably just helping with bandaging and shit. Seeing as there's no immediate attack here, and people are staying here.
Well, nobody's really bothered to go and figure out what's happening, so you're not sure what the state of the whole affair is. But
That's
yeah,
not
I don't know.
my
refugees
Maybe-
here to help. People are funneling in sort of their 2s and 3s.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's water, sort of water skins and bowls of porridge to hand out.
So, is Isaac within earshot of me?
I mean, you can shout. We're in the courtyard.
Isaac is capable of being within earshot of you, depending on where he decides to stroll along this spaced out emergency area.
Isaac
Don't you
has
also have the Earring
ears.
of Message?
Oh, that's true.
Genius.
Shut up. Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll use the fucking Earring of Message on Isaac and basically tell him, like, hey, this guy's suffering from internal bleeding. I could heal him, but it will take a while. Do you have anything faster?
I could try healing magic.
Come on over.
I'll use one of my level 1 spell slots to cast Cure Wounds, I believe it's called. Check.
Yay.
Yes,
Cool.
Cure Wounds.
I'm vaping.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yes, that will help him quite well. You get a d6 though as well, because of bin.
Well, the Song of
What?
Rest
Or is
doesn't
that-
do anything to his spell. It just adds 1d6 to the effects of a short rest.
Oh.
Basically, his
Oh.
music is bolstering their healing over a longer period of time. They're feeling more rested.
Well, I expended a spell slot to heal 3 HP.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I observe the results.
I'm not going to
Excellent.
undercut Isaac's healing.
He is able to staunch the bleeding with his magical healing, and with your super textbook, you're able to shunt all of the blood away and have his abdominal cavity not be
Distended.
overwhelmed. Yeah, distended.
The abominable snowman.
Throughout the procedure, the guy passes out. However, through monitoring, and a servant comes to free you up, but through
Outstanding.
monitoring, the person doesn't die.
That's good enough for me. On to the next one.
Vin, what are you up to? You're just observing the proceedings?
Song of Rest for the next hour, and then
Next hour,
I
right?
don't know.
Cthulhu, what are you up to?
I
Play
don't
us a
think
melody.
I don't think there's any limit to how much I can do Song of Rest, is there?
Just sort of like infusing idle strumming with.
You can
Healing
use soothing music or
properties.
oration to help wounded allies during a short rest if you are. So I can do this whenever I do a short, or whenever I guess I have to be part of the short rest, so I can't do anything else. But yeah, I'm doing that. So every hour on the hour, everybody's getting plus 1d6 HP. Hell yeah.
Oh.
That'll save a lot of lives.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm just gonna take it on the nose that the majority of the party, if not everybody, is gonna be helping with refugees for the next little bit of time.
I could get some Song of Rest music going.
Unless
Yeah, I was gonna
combat
say-
happens right outside the gates, yes.
Yay.
Well, as it happens,
Combat happens right outside the gate, then Isaac would head there.
his wife Amithray comes riding back on a lizard that she had occupied, with a very familiar female in tow.
Uh-oh.
And she rides up to the center of the compound and announces, in general, but sort of looking at Vinshenzo, and she says, I'm moving the guards off. We are proceeding to the lower districts, but we'll need somebody to move out to the head of the bridge and guard it for the refugees." And looking at Vinshenzo, but just sort of calling out loud,
Isaac heads to the bridge.
"To the bridge!"
Oh, yeah. Guess Carlos should.
Vincenzo looks at
follow.
Isaac and Carlos. As you wish, my dear.
Ho ho.
Finn is not happy.
The the female gives you, Nephis, fucking devil eyes, the attaché, but she remains silent, and it's more like a child who got a spanking, kind of devil eyes.
That's right.
Nephis returns the look
That's
with furrowed
right.
eyebrows
And then they
and
fucking
doesn't
ride off.
fucking blink.
And then they ride off across the bridge and rejoin the sort of the main force again.
That'll be my wife.
You said what to my husband? How dare
Constitution saving throw to win the staring contest.
you?
%. So sorry, Isaac, you said you're gonna make your way up?
Yep.
And Carlos, you said you're gonna follow?
Yeah.
Tula, what are you up to?
I inform the others that haven't already moved out that I will be at the bridgehead.
Oh.
Nephis says, "I'll accompany you. That woman we encountered earlier was riding with your wife. Best we stick together."
Was riding your wife.
No.
So, as I almost said a couple times, she was helping with handing out food, water, running supplies, but with the announcement and seeing her party members moving towards the bridge, she would move to follow since she can't really do much in the way of healing.
Mr. Nephis, it would be
But
best
killing, on
if
the other hand.
you stuck with me or you stayed here within the
Tula
grounds.
pulls out her knife.
She has a rapier now.
Oh yeah.
But she still has a very fancy knife.
True. Why not dual wield?
Does she know how?
She's clumsy.
Do you think she's smart enough for that?
Rapier light?
Dual wield.
I guess she'll have to take a feat.
And fireball casted from the right. Dual wield.
Yeah, you can't do somatic stuff if you're dual wielding, I don't think.
Warcaster.
Yeah, but if Khutula was to, I think that's how it would be done.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, okay, so you guys fiddly fuck around all the way up to the bridge, or the other side of the bridge. So, essentially, I can use my art skills.
Why couldn't you have just done the ritual, Mr. Carlos?
As bad as if that would have stopped all of this from happening.
All happening because of you,
Mini
Carlos.
boss showed up. What the fuck?
When will you fucking learn not to draw on the table with markers?
Oh, who's in trouble?
Me.
I didn't do it this time.
I don't know, Carlos. It's brown.
Haven't drawn anything today.
What am I supposed to do first, or not use the table at all?
I would suggest not using the table, but
Component.
Make a
what's
board. Get one of the boards.
Give him a board.
Board.
Then you can just delete it.
power.
With great board comes great boredom.
Hey,
Grid projection.
hit the gritty.
Na-na-na. This is not going to be to scale, but I'm going to use it for scale reference.
Just
What?
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 Sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to. Oh.
Can I give everyone bardic inspiration before we roll out?
Sure, you want to like.
Oh,
slap
but it
their ass
only
like
lasts
football
10
style?
minutes though. Never mind.
Yeah, I should probably save it for when combat is inevitable.
100 turns.
Embedem.
Yeah, but maybe it's a 10-minute walk to the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
That's a big bridge. Yeah. It was a kilometer.
Okay, so this is House Cairona.
Oh.
Not House Cairona.
Helvani.
Sorry, House Helvani. We'll do like that.
Hell yeah.
And
Neat.
the bridge is gonna be gray. Bridge goes like. House Helvani, not to scale. It's the front gate, I guess. The rest of the house is like back there. Then there's a platform that is surrounding a stalagmite. This is not like a 10-foot wide bridge, by the way. This is like the region map. And then I'll there. Okay. Then there's another bridge here. And that goes off to another stalagmite tight. Whichever one. These are a
Loose.
little bit smaller. What's that?
Stalag loose. Okay.
I get it.
Work.
Anyways, there. So, from here to here is roughly about 1 kilometer. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 200 meters each. So that's a. God, I shouldn't have used kilometers. It's a mile. How many feet are in a mile?
A lot.
5,000. 5,200 or something.
5,280.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Divided
1, 2, 3,
by
4,
5.
5280.
So each one of those is about 1,000 feet.
Wow, that's. And the bow's range is like 120 feet, so that's not going to be that long. Never mind.
It's approximately.
It's like 100 feet wide, so each of those squares is 50 feet. So
What
there
is
we
it
go.
right
That's
there?
our.
Okay, that makes sense.
There we go.
So it's 250 feet.
This sucks.
250-foot bridge. Still a big bridge.
Yeah, I'd say it's a big bridge.
I have a question for the DM that is very important to me.
Oh no.
Okay.
Do I know if there is a violin in House Elvani?
Yes. Your
Steal it.
sister used to play violin when she was a kid.
Definitely steal it.
I turn back and go to the house.
Okay. I will state whether or not you're interested in looking for a long time, but I will state it will take a long time.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to take.
Deadly. Okay, so the rest of you, it sounds, are going to the bridge. And when I say the bridge, you're going out here. So civilians are pouring out from, not pouring, but they're coming to House Helvani for sanctuary. And they're coming via the other two bridgeways. Captain or Lady Amethray moved off this way to go to the lower districts, which is sort of back the way you came, which means that you have those two bridge, basically this whole area to guard. There are a few troops that are coming from the gatehouse, but there's only about half a dozen. Not about, there is half a dozen. And one of the sword dancers.
Blade Singer?
Blade singer, sword dancer. It's basically House Helvani trains these special, highly trained female fighters that are religious fighters in the name of their goddess Illustre. Illustre. Anyways, that lady, that goddess, and because Illustre is the goddess of moonlight, swords. What is it? Sword fighting and dancing.
That makes sense.
Among other things, but because of that, it's these are a group of elite fighters that are very acrobatic in style.
The Juju.
Their name in the Drow language is the Anaven Killian.
Ah, yes, the animal Gillian.
We see the women.
Yeah, well, there's one. There's one of them. There's five other like soldiers, and then there's everybody except Vinshenzo. You got a bridge to guard.
Are the other soldiers male or female?
5 male soldiers. Sorry,
And
4 male
one
soldiers,
female
a
sword dancer.
sergeant, and then the female elite
Oh,
dancer,
okay.
or the sword dancer.
Copy that.
I will say that all of the soldiers are wearing half plate. They're pretty they're chonky boys.
Hell yeah.
They have shields and spears, and then as backups they carry stats-wise long swords, but they look like really long hooked blades. Sorry, not
Deadly.
long swords, great swords.
Oh,
Deadly.
But
Dead.
not great sword in girth, but great sword in length.
Oh.
I mean, great swords are typically pretty thin too, so.
Yeah, but
What?
that way we're all we all see in our mind's eye what I'm trying to broadcast from my mind's eye.
I'm
Historical
not
great sword
thinking
with
of
a hooked
anything
blade.
related to girth.
Oh my.
My mind is blank.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're at you've reached there. How would you like to? It's up to you. This is your tactical situation there, troops. Hold the bridge, says the wife, who tells the husband, who I guess just allowed his entourage to go do the job while he searches for his sister's violin. Anyways, here's the situation before you.
It's very
Are
important.
the
to
two
me.
female drow willing to take orders from us, or are they directing their troops in a particular manner?
Oh no! They're
Okay.
they are
So what are they doing?
they are behind you. You get there first.
Okay, so they're basically
They're not
guarding the
running with
bridge.
you. No, you guys essentially you get here, right? And they're somewhere back here.
Okay.
You can stand there and wait for them for sure, and they'll just and then
I didn't say that.
I'm just letting you know that if you're seeking their input, you'll wait. But if you're not seeking their input, you have time to act.
Okay. So this way is to the lower districts, right?
Both ways.
Oh, both.
Oh, shit.
Because they both go to either wall, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many are with us right now? 4 of us?
Given that the wife went the other way, Isaac's gonna head this way.
Right is right. Oh, right.
Copy. Yeah. Sounds tactically sound. Carlos will go over there too.
Because if she dies, then the whole campaign is over.
Vin would be heartbroken. He would probably kill himself.
Yeah, you wish, bitch.
Vin would turn Carlos into his new wife.
No.
True polymorph.
Vin isn't.
Transform him, Dad!
There's no more beautiful form than a drow female.
Oh. I'm looking for,
We go right.
there's no live athletic females in my collection of
Oh.
things, so I'm just going to use this one. Okay, get that, and then don't worry about the others. For all intents and purposes, so we have our refugee. Who were these? Oh, this was the family that
Yes, the dwarf is from the family.
I'm keeping.
That was the daughter, I believe.
The
I'm
vampire.
glad you remembered that. That That makes me happy to know that.
Hey, I wrote down their names.
I'm glad somebody's paying attention.
Nope.
Nope.
Allegedly.
Okay.
I don't remember who that fucking bald ass fucking dwarf was. All I know is I got rings now. Fuck him.
Um,
What rings you got?
Giants.
Ringworm.
And this is the.
God, it's a vampire.
Hooray! Yeah, it's a vampire.
Kill it.
And then there's the refugees. So 2 refugees come spiddly bottling up to you guys as you meet the bridge. And when you look back behind you, you notice that the Helvani troops funnel over to the other side, filling the gap that you left.
A wise decision. Tactically sound.
Now, from a handful of refugees, I will give you this as you're looking across. So over this way, there's more of sort of the district of Melthamar, which is the stalagmite district, with different sort of houses and everything suspended from the ceiling. And then this way moves towards the wall where the causeway leading down to the rest of the city goes. Now, there is an indirect / direct way to get to the other side of the walls from this way too. It's just it's shorter to go here than it is here.
Asymmetrical.
Oh yeah.
You're not dead center. You're slightly to the left.
No. All right.
So aside from the handful of refugees, the bridges seem pretty clear, and the area around seems, well, it's been vacated. Anybody who was outside milling about that you would have noticed while you're traveling towards the house, it's gotten pretty quiet. Well, not quiet, but it's gotten pretty lonely, pretty empty.
I check the refugees for injuries as they pass.
One of them is injured. They have an open cut on their arm.
Bah. Pussy shit.
Sorry, when I say a cut, I mean like a sword cut, not like a...
Oh, not a paper cut.
No, not...
A gat.
They didn't rip their arm
Gash.
open on a branch. This is a war wound.
If nobody else jumps in with magic, Carlos will do what he can with his healer's kit.
All right.
My magic is super limited.
Yeah, and his book.
Refugee isn't willing to just sit here on the bridge and wait for you to do that, and seems very interested in continuing on to the house.
Okay, I evaluate how much he's bleeding. Will he make it?
Oh, he's bleeding a lot. And
I
panicked and in shock. He's like,
I insist, gently insist that he waits and let me at least staunch the bleeding before he moves on.
okay.
It'll only take a few minutes.
I'm gonna get you to persuade him to allow you to help.
Does he speak one of your languages? Is there someone here that
That's a good
speaks?
question.
This guy does speak common.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let that one happen. The rest of them haven't.
I could also speak Elvish to him.
Can you?
Yes, I can speak Elvish.
Oh.
If that would make more sense for him to speak Elvish. I don't know what he is. What is he?
I've already ruled that he's common, but he's a drow. He's a fairly nice looking drow. Not like
Okay. All right,
super
here we go.
cool nice, but upper middle class nice.
Okay, so that's 13 plus there's more. 10, so 23.
23. He like just kind of the moment of idleness gives him enough time to calm his mind, and he allows you to treat him.
Excellent.
Given that you have your medical textbook and all that, you bind. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I've been sitting still too long. You bind his wounds with textbook precision,
Outstanding.
and he moves on afterwards and fucks off doing his thing.
There you go. That'll get you along until you can get some proper care.
And then you notice that apart from, so there's a few more refugees that are coming down the bridge, but behind them look like a gaggle of figures dressed in black and silver, and they don't cross the bridge entirely. They actually stay on the other sort of stalactite platform. But as they're moving towards the bridge, they slow down when they notice that people are waiting on the other side, and they begin to loiter.
Nephis rolls perception.
What did you say they were wearing?
Yeah, I want to roll perception as well.
I said they were
Same.
dressed in black and silver.
Like cloaks or just clothing? Like, are they obscuring their identities?
No. It's like the uniformity is of color, not of clothing design. (22 perception, 18 perception, 16 perception. Okay, cool.
Ooh, Khutula just rolled too.
Wait. Nope, fuck it. Too late.
What?
I forgot the guidance myself.
Sorry. It's okay. 16 is better than 15, that's for sure.
Oh,
It's better by one.
You guys notice that these guys are all, or these individuals are all armed. They're all looking at you and sizing you up. You can see it from that far away. It's not too far. It's about 100, 120, 150 feet. 150 feet.
can I see blood on their blades?
From
And
100 feet away in 22 perception, I can tell you that you see blood on their blades. On
Copy.
one of their blades.
did the refugees there are a couple of refugees between us and them, right? So
There is a
Okay,
handful,
did they
I will say 3, and they're
do they seem
across
panicked?
the bridge. All of the refugees you have seen are panicked.
Oh, okay, so they're not any more panicked than usual.
They're all trying to get to safety.
Are they like looking back at the people behind them at all, or just fixed forward?
No, they're dead set on getting the fuck out of there.
Okay.
You're in the way of them getting to where they want to be. The refugees don't care about anything other than reaching destination safety.
Okay. So I draw my crossbow, but I don't like ready it or anything. I just kind of hold it. And I speak to everyone. Look alive!
I draw my sword and ready my shield.
Look alive! I think these guys wish to do us harm. If any of the refugees like looked at Carlos and like thought that he might be a threat, he'd like try to wave them towards him to hurry up.
They're not paying attention to you at all. They're
Okay.
like, again, pure panic.
That's good.
You stopped the guy to check his wounds. You like physically stopped him, and that's why he originally was just like, "Fucking let me go, fuck shit." And you like convinced him, calmed him down for 2 seconds. But otherwise, he was like in the attempt at pushing past you. These guys are the same. If you get in their way, they're just gonna they're running. They know where they're going.
Unfortunately, there's more pressing issues. I won't stop these ones. Unless like their arms falling off, maybe, but
No, they all seem in good enough condition. So the refugees move past. These guys, we'll say this is the foot of the bridge on this side. So there's a handful of them. Copy. Oh, clone. Doop. There's this many.
Six, 7.
And they're sort of pacing and
Back and forth. Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, after some very long Mexican standoff-esque minutes of them pacing. One of them moves off with some sense of purpose in this direction, and the rest of them slowly sort of follow.
Oh.
They move off again.
Huh. Do you think we intimidated them on?
Or they're getting friends.
Oof. Well, that just gives us more time for the actual army to come back, I suppose.
It's another series of refugees. You can hear pattering across and generally being like bantered and nagged at by the Helvani troops behind you.
Oh,
Yeah.
After they like move away, Carlos would be like, "Wait here, I'll be right back," and he'd run over to the other side where the Helvani guards are, and he'd look. Who would be in charge, the Killian or the sergeant?
The Killian. She is above and beyond their rank. She's fucking special forces, essentially.
All right. Carlos would inform her what he saw and how many and what they looked like, and what they did.
She acknowledges you. How are you doing that? Kind of matters, but also kind of doesn't.
Well, Carlos has been around Drow enough to know like how he should act towards the female, so he would like be respectful towards her. He wouldn't like just blurt it out. He'd be like, "Excuse me, ma'am, this is what I saw."
You wouldn't do anything haram. You know your place in society.
Well, in this society, at least.
Hell yeah.
Ma'am, please.
Ma'am, please. There's
Back
bad
up.
guys.
She spits on the floor and then crushes the spit with like the pad of her toe. And she says, "They're nothing but rabble." And turns away with her fucking stiletto killer heels.
Jesus. All right.
Christ.
Carlos would kind of shrug and head on back if she wasn't concerned, then I guess it wasn't too concerning.
No. About 20 minutes goes by before you see any other sort of activity. Refugees, bandits, troops moving, anything. Given the fact that there is at this point in time, 20-minute silence, is there anything you wish to do? Nephis.
Let me think.
How
I'm just gonna play
dark
some
is it?
Kalimba.
You're going to start what, sorry? Playing Kalimba?
Yeah.
Deadly.
Nothing else is going on.
Nothing else is going on.
I just mentally prepare myself for battle.
Deadly. All right. Nobody's impatiently waiting for something. You're all in it for the.
I remain on guard.
I mentally prepare myself to talk to
I remain on
Carlos
guard,
again.
but how dark is it currently?
It is midday. Not midday. Sorry, it's afternoon. It's like early afternoon. The only light in this cavern is sort of the faint light that comes from the sun filtering down in the roof. So you have dim light / faint light.
Hell yeah.
People can see without dark vision currently.
For now.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
that's basically what I wanted to know.
One of the torches dim light, because I think you have like full light, and then that lesser light is what you have.
But once the sun sets, there won't be any light up here, right?
Oh, there'll be nothing. No
Okay.
stars, no nothing. It's going to be pitch.
I know. I'm basically just figuring out at which point theoretically I should use Eyes of Night on people.
Ooh, yes.
On people.
Yes, I can share my 300 feet night vision with up to the wisdom modifier of people. So I can give 2 people 300 feet of dark vision for an hour. Once per long
nice.
rest.
Oh.
So there are, after 20 minutes, some refugees. There's a group of 5 refugees. I'm going to keep them in a clump for the sake of things, but there are a group of 5 of them that come running up towards you.
These are the first ones since the.
For 20 minutes. First
Okay.
ones in 20 minutes. that we've seen.
As they approach, I'm gonna tell Carlos to see if he recognizes their faces from earlier, in case they're trying to sneak past.
Excellent. Do I?
No.
Nephis would also like to roll perception to see if they have any weapons slung underneath their clothes.
Okay.
Scabbards.
Ugh,
Oh, that is a 19.
that's a
I would
solid
also
roll.
like to roll perception on that, though I wouldn't recognize faces or anything. I will guidance that.
I'm just gonna keep playing Kalimba.
18.
I would like to roll perception, but on seeing if any of them are mortally wounded or won't make it to the manor. So if it's perception, then it's 21.
So I will point out for the people looking for concealed weapons, based on your experience so far, your refugee experience so far today, you are aware that it is not uncommon for civilians to be armed.
Oh.
I will say that to you now. You have witnessed through your, like when you were handling them in the house themselves, some of the patients that you were treating and stuff, they had weapons. They're not armed to the teeth like soldiery or anything. They are just a portion, a regular enough portion were armed civilians.
Self-defense, basically.
Yeah, same way anybody would, same reason you're carrying a sword. You are technically, well, for a decent chunk of the campaign, you've been an armed civilian. Most of you. So
Yeah,
that's
but we
kind of
pull
thing.
it off.
Yeah, you pull it off. And some of these guys might have pulled it off too, you don't know. But anyways, the point is that being armed in this city does not seem to be an abnormal or irregular thing. So that being
All right,
said,
how many of them are armed?
3 of the 5.
Okay.
What are they armed with?
One of them has a knife. The knife is in his belt. Another one has a short sword that is sheathed at their hip. And another one is holding an axe, but holding an axe in not a combat-ready way, if that makes sense.
So basically holding it.
There is no
towards
blood
the-
on the axe either, I assume.
There's blood on this person's axe, but again, they're not holding it in a combat-ready stance.
Hell yeah.
Carlos would assume that they were fighting the bandits.
Nay.
And
Now,
Carlos,
if they
you have
all
21
had
for
swords.
perception for injuries, correct?
Yes, anything that I would consider life-threatening.
There's no life-threatening issues, but you notice that 2 of them are suffering injuries. One of them has a bandaged ear, while their head is bandaged, but it goes around their ear. And another one just has a big ass fucking black eye that's nice big shiners starting to form.
Okay. I'm not too concerned. I let them pass.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So the refugees begin to pass between you. Khutula, you're like hiding in the back by the stalactite.
Yeah, pretty much. Just kind of like hanging out by it.
All right. So Khutula, one of the refugees, the one that was carrying a dagger, runs at you. It's a surprise round.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Pulling a dagger from his. Fuck! I need to stop tapping into NSFW memes. Thanks, Devon.
Damn it, if only I had alert.
What does alert do?
You can't be surprised.
Okay, well, I'd like you to roll initiative because somebody is going to attack Khutula, so I guess you get to roll initiative.
Oh no, I don't have alert. I said I wish I had it.
Oh, I thought you said it sarcastically as though you had it already and you're like, oh no, what am I gonna do? But that's cool. Okay, in that case, I'm going to roll to attack. There we go. Wah, wah.
Well, I wish I was sucking on some of the extra.
What?
That meme.
Oh.
Sucking tequila off her toes.
The
fuck?
Forget it.
You opened it, Chris.
I
At it.
looked at it.
You look.
I gotta tap back into my thing. No, I don't need two. Same. Here we go.
Look at it.
Okay, 14 plus. Not creatures. Fuck, I'm sorry, I lost my page. I scrolled by accident and I lost
He's
my
looking
page.
at NSFW memes.
I'm not looking at NSFW memes right now. I fucking tabbed into Discord and I did that automatic
He's a
monkey thing where
magnet.
you check
Oh my
your
eye.
unread notifications on your server, and then I saw that and I was like, oh shit. And I felt the need to make a comment after I turned away from it. Anyways, now that that is over with, 14 plus, that is, fuck you, 21 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
I would expect so. You get 6 piercing damage as this person essentially sprints into you with a knife.
Wait, how much piercing damage?
6.
6.
Oh, okay.
And you must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh boy, howdy.
Where's Anton to protect Khutula?
This is all Anton's fault.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a 1. Nat 1.
Okay.
Enjoyed
I will
drow
state for the
poison.
record that nat 1s for saving throws, same as 20s. It's just a result. So
Okay, so it's a 6 then.
yeah. So you get a 6. So you failed it. So you take 24 poison damage.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ with the poison.
It's either that or 7d6, but
That seems excessive.
yeah, fair. Or 5. I'll roll the 7d6.
These
Welcome-
niggas rich.
Welcome to the Underdark, bitch.
No.
23 instead.
Wait, 23 damage you said?
23 poison damage
Plus 6 from the
Make sure I get
knife.
that.
Mhm.
plus 6 from the knife.
29 total.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It would have been
Can
half as much if you had saved successfully. So
Can I like whirl around and do something now?
Sorry, yeah, it's over now. So now you can roll initiative. So
They just
Okay.
hear Khutula shriek out.
and then you turn around and you notice that somebody had just impaled the Khutula with a knife.
Did we figure out if you could use inspiration for initiative?
Initiative is technically a skill check.
I will allow inspiration for initiative.
If
that case,
you
I'm
had
gonna-
Inspiration.
In that case, I'm going to use my 1 inspiration to roll with advantage.
Nephis, didn't you get a point of inspiration for your dwarf adventure?
Did
Yeah,
I?
yeah, we both got
Oh,
one.
inspiration. I'm thinking bardic inspiration. I'm having a fucking strong.
That's okay.
Well, combat has started and I'm not there, so I probably won't be there for the whole combat.
No, probably not.
So do I? So when that one guy ran up and stabbed Khutula, what did the other 2 do? Did they keep going or did they stop?
So the 5 refugees, 4
Yeah.
turned down the bridge and kept running. One
Okay.
of them just sort of, it wasn't even an attack. It was literally just ran into with knife pointed outwards.
It
Like
was
that
an
Japanese guy
accident?
who murdered a politician. I didn't say that. I'm saying how it
It
happened.
was an elephant.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Can I grab him and yeet him off the fucking platform?
Yeah, he rolled a 2 for his
Yes.
initiative. So what's everybody else's initiative?
24.
22.
Kardoc.
Nephis, is that a 13 for you or is that a 13 for something else?
That's a 13 for me. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. So it's going to be Carlos, Isaac.
I thought they were okay. I wasn't paying attention.
You've killed me, Nephis.
Aye.
Alright, can I like roll to attack or what?
You can move and attack. Yep.
Okay, well I don't. How far away is he from me?
He
I don't
ran
know.
all the way to the other side of the platform where Khutula was. The platform is 50 feet wide.
Okay, so he's probably under 50 feet then from.
He's going to be
50 feet or under.
feet of you. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna whirl around and I'm gonna shoot him in the back with my crossbow.
Okay.
Don't roll a 1.
Oh,
Shut up.
yeah.
All right, so that is 18.
18 hits.
Oh,
Cool. Let's see where it is. And since Khutula is standing next to him, I can sneak attack him.
You can move 50 feet?
No, I can use sneak attack with a ranged weapon.
Oh, what the hell? I'm sorry, I'm retarded.
Sneaky tiki.
No worries, it happens.
Whoa.
Okay, so that is 15 plus 4, that is 19 damage.
19 damage.
Yes.
Let me just check and see. Okay. Okay. Is that your turn?
If he doesn't die, then I start,
No, he's not dead yet.
okay, if he doesn't die, then I start running up to him while reloading my crossbow.
Okay. That is your turn, and I believe Isaac. Go over.
I am going to move 30 feet closer, and then I'm going to hurl one of my hand axes at him.
Okay, roll for your attack.
End him, Isaac. Ooh, promise.
Unnatural 20.
Hits.
Roll that sweet.
With maneuver.
Ooh.
Yes.
I have to fucking reset these. Okay, that should be correct. So one of you, and one of you. I'm gonna do the knockdown one. I'm going to Psy-Guide and strike that, because holy fucking shit, that is the worst rolls ever. And it doesn't matter which one I replace, because they're both ones. Come on!
Shit!
Fine, I guess I'm doing 7 damage to him.
Perfect.
DC 16 saving throw to not get knocked prone.
Okay, so that's dexterity.
Uh,
Oh, wait, this rule.
it's a strength save.
Okay, cool. Strength save. Ugh.
Yeah, let me. Here. Yep, strength save.
It rolls a 20. Does it save?
Yeah.
Okay, he effortlessly ducks out of the way of your javelin.
Or hand axe.
Anything else? Sorry, your.
I will throw my other one at him
Okay.
because extra attack.
I have to pee. I'm like crossing my legs.
Use a bottle like a man.
Point it up and drink it.
I will wait for that then.
It's also 10 p.m.
We gotta finish this round of combat. Shut up.
Okay.
Finish these nuts.
You're always the one that's like, oh, I gotta. Oh.
You're always doing something.
I'm always doing something. Aren't we all?
Vin. Oh. Teach me a game, Vinshenzo.
What?
Ugh.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so good. What did you roll?
I waited for you to get back.
Oh, I would have totally trusted anything you would have done.
What the hell?
Show would tell on himself.
That is an 11. Jesus.
11 misses.
Wow.
He effortlessly dodges out of the way of your second hand axe.
I believe.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna end my turn there. I'm not gonna spend an action surge here.
Okay. That would make Khutula next. Wait. Yes, Khutula next.
End him rightly.
So, just for character's sake, I'm going to say she like falls back and down as she gets fucking ran into with a goddamn fucking poison dagger. But as she's falling down, she'll use her breath attack. Oh,
Bounces off the stalactite.
it's a fucking cone.
No, I mean like you, because your
Oh.
back is to it, so you
Yeah,
bounce
pretty much
off
like
of it.
fucking bounce off of it and like slump down.
Causing the stalactite to crack, and then we're all gonna fall and die.
No! Who has feather falls in?
So, because it's a 15-foot cone, I don't really have to roll the hit, but it requires a saving throw, which is 8 plus my Constitution modifier plus proficiency bonus. So, 2 plus 3. So,
Dexterity or Constitution?
sorry. It is for cold. It is a Constitution save.
Cool.
So, Constitution save of 13.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to roll.
Oh, failure.
All right, so it takes 2d6 damage on a failed save. Oh wait, because I'm actually, I need one more. It's actually 3d6 after level 6.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a little better.
So 7 plus, because it's frost damage, I get to add my charisma modifier,
Hell
which
yeah.
is 4. So he takes 11 damage.
Hell
11
yeah.
damage, Roger.
Yep.
Raise the roof.
Oh, what?
That's her turn because she was surprised.
Does she get back to her
And-
feet?
Oh, she's
Yep,
fucked up
30
on
feet
the
of movement.
ground. It goes from 14 to 15, 44 to 15 health.
Yeah.
Nephis, it is your turn.
Nafish dashes 50 feet and ends his turn. He's up against the guy.
Oh,
Hi.
oh.
You just fucked up, buddy. He just whispers that in his ear.
Now you fucked up.
Assassin.
The assassin is going to disengage from
Pussy.
Nephis. Wait, hang on. If you disengage, you can't attack, right?
Depends. Can he use it as a bonus action?
It doesn't say.
Disengage is
Then-
normally an action. Unless
Yeah,
otherwise
normal action.
specified.
So yeah, he can't
You
attack.
can't disengage and attack.
Right.
I don't think.
Not unless he's special like me.
He's not special like that. So he's not going to disengage. He's not going to do any of that. He's effectively he's just dancing around being a silly boy. He's going to attack try and hit Khutula again.
Khutula, no.
Fuck hell. Hang on.
If he's dancing around, does he leave my
No.
my range? Oh.
No, that's why he's not effectively doing it at anything. He gets 14 to hit.
He misses.
Khutula?
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. Yeah, that misses. I have 15.
Nice. And its second
By
attack.
the hair.
Can I cast shield?
What?
I want to cast shield.
Yes, you can. As a
Yeah.
Can you react?
It's a reaction.
Shield is a reaction.
100%.
Yeah, and it adds +5 bonus to AC against the triggering attack.
Okay, so 12 plus 7 is 19 to hit.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
20.
20.
Wow.
See, there you go. So the next strike bounces off your projected shield. But
Finally, I got to use that.
at the same time, a bunch of motherfuckers start coming around the corner of where they were. And they dash. They don't make it across the bridge or anything, but there's people dashing up the bridge now. Like that. Except it's... Yeah. So they're dashing up the bridge as you're fiddly fucking with the assassin. And then it moves to... Oh, God. There we go. Fucking thing's freezing. There we go. Carlos, is your turn.
Hello, yes. I fire another crossbow bolt at him. Wait, actually, no? Yeah, because I think Nephis came from that direction, so I'd be like behind him, he'd be the other side, yeah. So I fire a crossbow bolt at him. Okay, so that is... Fuck, sorry, I lost myself for a second. 19.
19 hits.
Copy.
Oh my.
I do
24 plus.
+8, so that's 32 damage.
32 damage. Roger that.
I know you're not about to tell me this motherfucker isn't dead yet.
He's not dead yet, but that crossbow bolt glanced him, and he's not having a good time. Don't tag me. Don't tag me in something. Fuck off. I'm not.
Don't at me.
Don't at me.
This motherfucker.
What kind of fish is this, Nephis?
I'm gonna look now. I'm looking. What the fuck?
I look over my shoulder for a second. How close are those bandits?
They're on the other side of the bridge, and I mean that literally.
Okay, so have they started moving towards us?
Yes.
Okay.
But they have reached exactly the edge of the bridge.
Okay, and that's, let's see. What was that, 200 feet, 150 feet?
Each square is 50 feet.
So, are these like two half squares? Or what?
We'll call it 150 feet because it's two half squares. I think I also mentioned 150 feet the last time.
Yeah, that's what I think, yeah. Okay. So they're still pretty far away. I'm gonna continue to pay attention to this fucker over here. So I'm going to drop my crossbow for now and move the remaining 20 feet, I think it is, to the guy, and I'm going to draw my rapier and buckler and basically help like corner him with Nephis. And that's
Okay.
it for me, I think.
All right. Next up is Isaac.
They're 150 feet away, eh?
Yes.
Those people are 150 feet away.
You could harass them. That is a thing. Accurately.
Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't be 180.
If you move towards the guy, yeah.
I moved
Probably.
30 across to the guy.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to engage them, you'd have to move the 30 feet back, then you'd be in range. I guess it depends on how much you trust us to finish this guy
I
off.
can move at least 60 feet a turn.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they're probably going to be dashing at us.
Oh, you're talking about them, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking action economy wise, because swapping to my bow takes an action, and swapping back to my shield will take an action.
I don't.
This fucking guy off me.
Pretty sure drawing a weapon is like a free interaction. If you drop your
shield.
weapons,
Equipping or unequipping a shield
yeah,
is
okay.
an action.
Yeah, I'd probably just, if you already have it out, then go with this guy. Kick his ass. Save Khutula. Save her.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to move the remaining 20 up to him, and then I'm going to stab him in the back with my short sword.
Stab him in the balls.
That is a... Oh, right, shit. Wait, no, that's old sheet. Yes, okay, so that would be a 19.
19 hits.
And he has other dudes around him, so I will sneak attack.
Sneak attack. That's how I do my damage. Nice.
That is 16 wait, nope, 17 damage.
17 damage. You kill him.
Yes.
All right. And that will end my turn.
Okay, so given the fact that the immediate combatant has died, how are you going to deploy yourselves as a team to encounter
I
them?
intend to basically go up to the bridge and form like frontline wall.
Yeah.
Or attempt as much as possible. I was gonna use my last spell slot to cast a concentration spell on myself, but no point until they're in range.
Fair enough.
I help Khutula into like a sitting position, and I pretty much thrust a healing potion into her hands. Here, drink this. It'll help.
Slam that shit.
As you are accepting the potion,
Uh-oh.
cold, dead eyes of the man that Chill had just slayed flash green, and he sits up.
Uh-oh.
I stab him again.
The end.
No.
No, you ran up to the bridge to be part of the front line. Fuck you. That's what
Nephis, cover us. Nephis is still
No,
here, right?
I had something I wanted to do and I can't do it now.
it's session is over.
Oh.
We're gonna leave it for that. Because
I also kind of want to pick up my two hand axes before I run back.
Okay, you have picked up your two hand axes. I will label that as a priority thing that you have done.
Oh.
So you have your hand axes back.
Now you won't have to axe about it next time.
Oh, wow.
Nephis, are you still by the dead body, or are you up at the bridge now? You have the opportunity to
I was going to heal Khutula with cure wounds, but I guess I'm just here.
You could do both.
It's
She lost a lot of health.
But he has green eyes.
Oh yeah, that thing.
And you ran
you should
past me.
You should probably
bitch.
deal with that first. Yeah, you do
You
that.
should suck my fucking nuts, because that's next
Yeah,
session.
you wish. Nephis has a kobold fetish.
See you
I
next
think he's
Monday.
got the hots for that angry
He's-
drow lady.
He's in denial. That's why he's so mean
Yeah,
to
that
me.
lady was hot.
Cool. I almost died again.
So before, yeah, you did.
From poison.
Die again.
I poison again.
Not again.
Anton was there to escort you into the great beyond.